Dice of the Dead. Heroes of the Broken Lands, a Nimble tabletop RPG actual play podcast, playing Nimble, a fast tactical RPG designed by Evan Diaz.
Welcome everyone to Dice of the Dead, where we let the dice decide who lives and who dies. I'm your game master, DG, and tonight we'll be playing Nimble. It's a variant of D&D 5e that has been streamlined to utter simplicity. It's fast and tactical, and there's a lot less bookkeeping on my end, so it's much more fun for me to run. Let's introduce ourselves since we have a live audience. Let's go with the host with the most. Liam, introduce yourself to everyone.
I am your friendly Twitch host. I am Sabaton Liam, and I'm playing Crunk, the Berserker.
He likes opening doors and hitting things with sticks, and was dropped on the head as a babe.
How do you think I got the name Thunk? I mean Crunk. Rhymes with Thunk.
Let's go with our other resident Sabaton fan, Sebi.
Hello everyone, my name is Sebi. I am a vampire VTuber. I know wrong TTRPG, we'll get there eventually. And I am playing Cassian the Shepherd.
He is the son of a shepherd.
The son of a shepherd!
This is not being a bit!
Next, we will go with Archer. Introduce your lovely voice,
thanks for
Archer.
checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Archer.
What? It's like the perfect intro for me. I'm Archer. I'm a sometimes streamer, 100% gremlin, currently playing Kale the Hunter.
Yep. And last but not least, Britt, go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I am a Calvi VTuber, and I am playing Phelan.
Who is a cheat. So don't trust her with anything, and keep your belongings out of your pockets and safely locked away.
It's
I
okay.
want them in mine.
All I have is a loincloth. Do you want that?
Mm-mm. No, thank you. I don't want that.
I've definitely got some things we can put in a pocket. I mean, what?
Without further ado, let us begin the first module of our Nimble campaign, entitled The Garden of Death. Once, a single empire ruled this continent, the Empire of the Black Sun. Its banners cast long shadows, its legions marched unchallenged, and its cities stood as monuments to power that seemed eternal. But nothing is eternal. Whether by pride, betrayal, or forces long forgotten, the Empire of the Black Sun fell. Its cities burned, its roads crumbled, and its people vanished into history. The Black Sun set and did not rise again. Nearly 2 centuries have passed since then. To all but the longest lived, the Empire's legacy is lost to time. Now, scattered nations cling to the ruins. Small kingdoms and lone cities shine like fragile lights against a vast and encroaching darkness. Between them lie wild lands, lost roads, and the broken remnants of an age that refuses to stay buried. This is a world of ruins and rediscovery, of danger and opportunity. And in that shadow of what once was, new legends are being forged. Your legend begins now. The year is 1292 of the Imperial calendar, and far from the great powers of the world, where the old empire once stretched its furthest reach, lies a land that has endured. The Valley of Hope. Once a distant frontier of the Empire of the Black Sun, the valley has outlasted the age that claimed it. Time and ruin has softened its scars, and in their place something new has taken root. Picturesque fields now spread where garrisons once stood. Old roads, though worn, still guide travellers through the rolling hills. At the valley's heart stands Farhope, a steadfast port city by the sea, a beacon of opportunity in this broken land. Its harbour welcomes traders, its walls offer shelter, and its people have built something rare in this broken world: stability. And it's in the city of Farhope where our story begins. It was approximately 2 weeks ago now, when the four of you, all from different walks of life, all happened to notice a proclamation in the centre of the main market square. You all have different reasons for adventuring, you all come from different walks of life, but on this day 2 weeks ago, this proclamation equally captured your attention. I'm putting it up in owlbear now so you can see it. It read, "Now hiring, those of stout heart, gold and glory await, by provision of the Golden Company. A value opportunity for those skilled in blade, bow, or magic, seeking stout-hearted adventurers to brave the King's Reach, transporting provisions to Merrivale. Arrive in time for the Harvest Festival and partake in legendary festivities. Those interested should seek Gideon Blaze at Blade Hall." And so you did. Each in turn you sought out Gideon Blaze, the recruiter of the Golden Company, the faction that rules Farhope, and each registered your interest to join the caravan to Merrivale. And thus the grueling process of elimination followed. What began as a crowd of 30 or 40 candidates was slowly whittled down to just 4 through trials of combat, demonstrations of wit and finesse, and good old-fashioned luck. And at the end of it, you 4 remain. You are currently standing on the edge of a training yard in the centre of Blade Hall, the citadel from which the Golden Company rules the city. Before you stands Gideon Blaze himself, the leathery-skinned, battle-worn recruiter with a magnetic smile. And to his left, a meek, nervous-looking, thin little man wearing a purple wizard's robe. A man introduced you as Alistair, an apprentice wizard on loan from the tower. Gideon Blaze looks each of the 4 of you down. He crosses his arms and nods, flashing a magnetic smile. "Well, you've made it this far. I must say, nothing I've seen from either of you has been that impressive, but you were the best of the bunch. The bar really was set that low. But you've got the job, pending one last test of skill, we shall say. For the records, of course, I must take your names and vocations and determine what reason brings you to us today. What drives you on your quest for golden glory, as it were?" He looks at the meek wizard Alistair. "Alistair, take a scroll and begin to write everything down." Alistair nods, waves his hand, and a quill flies out of the backpack he's wearing. A piece of paper unfurls itself in front of him, and it begins writing, capturing the words of everyone in the vicinity. Gideon Blaze turns first to the grand, imposing, red-skinned, dragonborn berserker immediately in front of him. "You there, dragonborn! State your name and vocation, and tell us for what reason you wish to join this expedition."
My name is Crunk, and it sounds like Thunk, and I'm here to make more friends.
So you were dropped on the head as a babe and consider that a virtue, do you? He turns to Alistair and he says, "Write down, he's a good sword arm. That'll do. You can hit things with a stick, can't you?"
Yeah, I can.
Next, he turns his attention to the shepherd beside Crunk. Sebi, please go ahead and describe Cassian for us. And then, as Gideon barks the orders, name, vocation, and reason for joining the expedition.
So you see a relatively tall man, 6 foot, 6'2", somewhere in that ballpark. A bit of a shaggier beard, unkempt hair. Looks like he hasn't been looking after himself recently. Wearing a mail underneath some cleric's robes. On his left arm, he's wearing a chainmail gauntlet. And on the right, it's in like prayer wrappings almost. With little, like, with inscriptions inside of it. And he goes, "My name is Cassian, son of... you wouldn't know him. Why am I here?
Go ahead.
Let's just say, passing through.
A man of the Almighty.
You could say that." And he just sort of smiles.
Passing
Where's your
through.
flock?
Alistair's quill records it, and as the words passing through are written down, a flash of memory goes through your mind. A flash of steel and blood. The voice of much older priest shouting at you to run. Save yourself. And then...
Yep, passing through.
And then Gideon Blaze turns to Phelan to your left. You there, girl. Name,
Yes.
vocation, reason for joining the expedition.
I'm just looking for work. Anywhere, anything. I just need something.
He looks you up and down. It's not usual for an elf to be in this line of work. Wouldn't you be more suited to reading books up there in the tower with Alistair?
It's not usual that an elf would end up on the streets like everyone else, though, as well, wouldn't it?
And of course, Phelan looks like the typical elf, does she not? If you mention the word elf to someone, whatever pops into their head is what she looks like.
She's a little bit more pale than usual. She has like these really pale blue eyes and like some like grey matted hair or mottled hair. So she looks like an elf, but she's just extra pale.
The little floating quill writes down, records your answer, and as it does so, a flash of memory goes through your mind. You stand before your boss, Tink, the crafty, almost never underestimated gnome who is the secret boss of the Explorers Guild. You remember his sly smile as he looks you up and down, folds his fingers. Merrivale! They're starting a caravan up down to Merrivale, aren't they? Well, I want you on it, because word on the street is something's about to go down in Merrivale. Something that may make us a lot of gold. And
Yes,
here
sir.
you are. And last but not least, Gideon turns his attention to Kale, our hunter. You there. Name, vocation, reason for joining the expedition, and feel free to describe Kale as well while you're at it.
Ale doesn't say anything. It's just what looks like a wolf-eyed on a hedge moves. Pulls a arrow from a quiver on his back, just glances quickly at the target beyond those in the party, and as he's just casually walking, takes a pot shot and bullseyes it. And then just proceeds to sit back down and unstring his bow and start picking leaves out of his beard, because he doesn't feel the need to talk, he'd just rather do.
Gideon doesn't press him. Instead, he just turns to Alistair and he says, "Very well. We have your name on the records. Write down Tracker." The quill records it. Gideon claps his hands together. He says, impressive display with the bow there. Now for the formal test. Let's see if you can repeat that shot. Let's see if your eye is truly as keen. He looks over his shoulder and gestures towards the training ground behind him, and there are a number of wooden training dummies just splayed out in a row. I wish to see, of course, if we're going to send you on a journey to Merrivale. Down the King's Reach, there are many dangers you might come upon. We need to know if you can defend yourself. It's no use hiring caravan guards if they don't know the pointy end of a sword from the blunt end. And so Alistair here, on loan from the tower, is going to assist us, aren't you, boy? Alistair nods, and as he does so, he moves into cover behind the training dummies. You're going to defend yourselves. 3, 2, 1. Gideon claps his hands together. Alistair whips his spellbook out, and with a flick of his hand, the wooden training dummies spring to life. And we're going to roll for initiative.
God damn, that was quick.
As you test your combat ability. So to roll for initiative in Nimble, you just roll your dex. And how it works is if the result is a single digit, you start with 1 action. If it's above 10, you start with 2 actions. And if it's above 20, or if it's a nat 20, you start with all 3 actions on your first turn.
Do I add my +2 in initiative?
You sure do.
Alright, that's an 18 for Kronk.
2 actions for Kronk.
I got an 18 as
D20,
well.
right?
Yep, D20 plus your dex mod, or whatever your class's initiative mod is. Phelan, 2 actions for you.
16
Sebi.
plus 6, 22.
22, 3 actions for Cassian. And Kale, is your eye as keen as it was only a second ago?
Yeah, roll the 16.
16, 2 actions. Not bad for everyone. Alright, Kronk, you can go first.
Oh, shit, what's Kronk's movement speed?
So your movement speed is always 6,
Oh,
unless
it's always
you
6.
have a feature that defines it differently.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Kronk's gonna go all the way up in here.
And Kronk's gonna hit training dummy D with his axe.
Runs right up to it, raises his axe, and go ahead. You can, in Nimble, there's no need to roll to hit, you just roll the damage. If it's the minimum amount of damage, you miss. If it's the max, you crit.
And that is a D10. Where's my D10s? That is a 9.
9. Crunch! The axe chops through the wooden training dummy, reducing it to splinters. Gideon Blaze nods approvingly. You have 1 more action, Kronk. Well, no, that was 2 actions. That's your
Yeah, that
turn
was 2.
done. Alright. Phelan, you're up.
Oh, fun. I'm just going to pull out my little slingshot and start firing.
Yeah, go ahead. You aim at the dummy right in front of you, training dummy C.
Yeah.
Go ahead, roll your damage.
My dice want to roll. That is 5, huh?
5. Crack! The rock hits the training dummy, scuffing its shoulder. It continues lurching forwards. Phelan, you have another action. What would you like to do? You can move, you can attack again, but it'll be with disadvantage, or you can activate a class feature if you've got one.
I'm going to move over here.
Yeah, just rush to the edge of the training yard, putting some distance between you and the others, forcing the training dummies to spread out. And then we go to Cassian.
Alright, just to quickly refresh my memory, you get, if I cast 2 spells or cast 2 cantrips, does that...
Yep.
Is it like attacking twice?
Yes, it is like attacking twice. It'll be with disadvantage on the casts after the first one.
Gotcha. Does that include, so if I attack and then do a cantrip, same thing? Or is
Same
it
thing,
2 separate?
yeah.
All
Still
right,
2
gotcha,
attacks.
Gotcha. Alright. Screw it, let's do that. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. I'm going to move up 6 spaces right up to them.
Yep, right into the thick of it, next to Kronk.
Right into the thick. Yep, I'm just going to get out of the way. And I'm just going to reach out with my left hand towards the training dummy E, and I'm going to do Withering Touch. Which is 1d12.
11 points. A black tendril crosses the training dummy's wooden body, and the wood begins to immediately putrefy. The training dummy raises its arm to strike back and then collapses into dust.
And then with my other hand, I swing back on the other train dummy with the mace.
Go ahead. That will be roll with disadvantage, of course.
Yep. So that's what? Hang on.
Roll the dice twice and take the lower.
Yep, and take the lower result. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just checking. Mace is 1d6. So 2d6. 2 is the lowest. Plus strength, so that'll be 4. 4. Crack!
The mace strikes the training dummy. It stumbles, but continues walking towards you. And then Kale, 2 actions for you. You're up.
I just calmly take aim at training dummy F and loose an arrow.
Go ahead.
So that's 5 damage on the first arrow.
Crack! The arrow lands right in the joint between its arm and its torso. The force of the arrow wrenches the arm off, and the training dummy falls down in a heap.
With a second action, that could just be another attack, can't it?
You can, but it will be with disadvantage.
What if I was to apply a hunter's mark to training dummy A and then roll with advantage?
Yeah, you can do that, but it will just be a normal attack in that case, because the advantage and disadvantage cancel each other out.
Yeah. And that's a 7 damage.
7 damage. It's already been damaged by Phelan's slung rock, and the arrow lands right in the dent that the rock made, sending a crack through the wooden torso, and the dummy hits the dirt.
And that's the end of my turn.
That's the end of your turn. You glance over at Gideon Blaze. He's surveying your attacks, and he nods approvingly. Perhaps he misunderestimated you, but there are 2 training dummies left. Alistair makes a swish motion with his hand, and they lurch forward. Training dummy B lurches towards you, Phelan, and with lightning speed, its hand lashes out, punching you and dealing 5 points of damage. And then training dummy C, the last one remaining, looks up at Kronk as he towers over it and gives a swift punch to Kronk's midsection for 5 points of damage. Would either of you like to use your reactions to defend?
I would. Don't we... Actually, yeah, I'll use an action to defend.
Yep, so what happens is when you use your reaction, you don't get that action back next turn. So at the end of your turn, all your actions restore. If you use any reactions, you're using one of your actions from next turn.
So that means we go from 3 to 2.
Yes, yeah. Because no matter what you roll for initiative, after the first round, you always get 3 actions. So when you defend, just subtract your armor from the damage dealt, and if it soaks all the damage, you take nothing at all.
So we defend. So how much defend was it?
Yep. So that was 5 damage dealt to both of you.
I take no damage.
No damage. What about you, Kronk?
I've only got 3 armor.
That's okay. Kronk, it leaves a little scratch on your rib cage. Phelan, you just deftly dodge out of the way, and the punch whiffs and hits the air. And then it's the next round. Kale, you're up first this time.
Sorry, brain farted. Yeah, I take aim at dummy B.
Dummy B, go ahead.
And that's 4 damage.
4 damage. The arrow hits its hand just as it comes back from trying to strike Phelan, and the force of the arrow unbalances it enough that it trips over a small rock in the dirt and goes down.
And
Can you
I
finish this
move
fight?
to here and mark dummy C and fire.
Go ahead.
And 8 damage.
8 damage. And the arrow is loosed, hitting the training dummy right where its neck would be if it was, of course, a living creature, and it too goes down. And suddenly, after a scant 6 seconds of chaos, the training yard is silence. Well done, says Gideon, clapping, genuinely this time, smiling. I thought at least one of them would get a good hit on you before they all went down. Well, I'd say you're more than equipped to handle the dangers ahead. He looks over at Alistair, who nods in agreement, and the little quill is buzzing, writing down an assessment of your abilities that you'll probably never see. And that's how you signed on as caravan guards. Let us now jump forward a few days later. After your fantastic display of skill in the training yard, you were equipped, outfitted for the job ahead, treated to a hearty meal by the Golden Company, and free room and board in the barracks. And then early the next morning you were roused by the drill sergeant at the crack of dawn, escorted to the city gates, and shown the caravan. The caravan being a fancy word for what amounts to a single horse and cart, laden with boxes of food, drink, and perishables for the village of Merrivale's upcoming harvest festival. You notice a couple lockboxes scattered in amongst the perishables, and you're told by Gideon with a stern eye that there are a couple little trinkets that will be made use of during the festival, and that yes, they've been counted and will be counted again when you arrive in Merrivale and present your caravan and the things you've escorted to Mayor Tills in his manor. And then your journey began in earnest. You spent most of that first day making your way down King's Reach, the well-trod road that spans from the kingdom's old capital through the withering dunes, Merrivale, and ultimately ends at Farhope. In the time of the Black Sun Empire, this was a major route connecting the heart of the realm to its furthest frontier. Now, today, it is the only highway through the Valley of Hope that is considered safe to travel, kept relatively safe by periodic patrols sent from Farhope. So, who's driving the caravan?
I dare say you won't want the dumbass Dragonborn driving it.
Oh no, I think we do.
I think we do.
Dibs not.
Grog
On
wants
the
to
road
pet the
again.
horsey.
If no one else wants it, I can do it.
Well, it seems that Kronk, as slow and simple as he appears to be, perhaps that makes him seem like something of kin to the simple horse that pulls the cart. It instantly recognizes him as a friend, and hey, you all figure King's Reach is this big, wide cobblestone road, and all you have to do is follow it. It's not like there's any risk of getting lost, after all. And so Kronk spends most of this first day happily seated up front the caravan, a big, broad grin on his face.
Good
perhaps
horsey.
complimenting the horse, calling it good, occasionally stopping the caravan so that he can insist on giving it a nice pat, and then having the rest of you hurriedly tell him to get back on the wagon and continue driving before something sets upon you.
Come on,
The
man, we
rest
have a
of-
job to do.
We do have a job to do. The rest of you, are you walking alongside the caravan, or is anyone riding? The caravan's pretty full of supplies, but there's maybe enough room for someone to sit and ride.
I'm sitting on the
Good.
roof.
There's room for one more. Come on, join Crunk.
I'll be walking alongside the horse.
I'm sort of in a bush.
Yeah, you're always you're always like a couple meters ahead of everyone, I think, and you don't walk along the road, you stick to the scrub on either side. So no one sees much of you, and they don't hear much of you for the journey. And Phelan the cheat, although no one knows her as that, of course, at this point, just sits gleefully on top of one of the supply crates, her feet kicking with the motion of the caravan as the horse clip-clops down the cobblestone.
Sharpening my daggers.
Sharpening your daggers, looking both jolly and edgy at the same time. And the first day passes quite uneventfully. You end up bedding down in a small clearing on the side of the road. You pitch camp and take turns at the watch overnight. And with Kale staying vigilant in the brush, nothing disturbs you. And then the second day, as you draw nearer to Merrivale, is when you get your first sense of the danger that exists within the Valley of Hope. So, Kale, you're ahead of everyone, slightly ahead of everyone, so I would like you to go ahead and make me, depending on which one you think would be more appropriate, a perception or a naturecraft roll.
Sorry to interrupt, but did anyone just hear that?
I did, yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
that's,
did
Sarah,
as well.
that's Sarah's mic.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
not
it'll
going
do
crazy.
that sometimes. That's okay, it can be edited out in post.
Okay. Perception on naturecraft.
Yep.
Okay, naturecraft. That's D20. A roll rolls essentially a D20.
Yeah. It's just the same as a D&D skill check.
23.
23. So at this point, the caravan is passing through a dip in the valley. The winding road descends down a hill, and there are two towering cliffs on either side of it. And on top of the cliffs, there's a line of very thick, very grand, very old oak trees. And Kale, you notice what appear to be silhouettes, small human-shaped silhouettes that, upon noticing that you've seen them, quickly dart into cover behind the trees.
Okay. I whistle like a sort of bird call sounding whistle to alert the party to the fact that I've seen something.
Everyone, do you draw your weapons and prepare?
Did someone want to hurt the horsey? No one hurt the horsey.
I was
The axe comes
about
out.
to say, like, would I be able to see up ahead? Is there anything on the road at all?
Yeah,
I'd be
now
able
that
to see?
now that he's alerted you, anyone can take a look. Go ahead, make a perception check if you'd like.
Alright, cool. D20. Alright, 24.
24. You notice up on top of the cliff to the left, one of the great oak trees beginning to shake and tilt forwards. As if it's about to fall, as if it's about to be thrown down onto the road.
Okay, I just yell out like, alright, off the road now!
Crack! Driver, Kronk. As you're rolling ahead, you hear this loud crack, and the grand oak tree begins to falling down into the valley, about to land, and if you're to continue forward, possibly crush that poor horse. How would you like to bring the wagon to a halt?
The horsey! No!
Do I need to roll like a strength check to like pull on the reins to make it?
Yeah, go ahead, make a might check.
my... Just a D20, yeah?
Just a d20 plus, plus whatever your might skill is.
That's 13.
13, that's enough. As the tree falls, you yank the reins of the horse so hard that the horse is momentarily lifted off the ground. It whinnies in shock and fright, but then the grand trunk of the tree lands with a thud, and the horse realizes that you've saved it from a much worse fate. It settles down, looks at you, eyeing you with respect and gratitude, and then a voice calls out, "Get them! Get them!" And goblins begin to pour out of the growth up above. Roll initiative, guys, for your first real fight.
That is a 22 for Kronk.
That is a 5.
1 action for Cass.
18.
18. 2 actions
Yep.
for Phelan. Alright.
17.
Well, Kale, you were the first to notice danger, so you can go first. Take your 2 actions.
Where am I?
I've put you a little bit away from the wagon to the south.
Yeah. I clamber up into this little bush.
Yep, scramble up the
myself-
cliff. Go ahead,
Keeping
mate.
myself hidden
yourself
as
hidden,
best
yep.
I can from goblins.
Yep, so you're scrambling up the cliff. Go ahead and make me a might check to see if you can get up it in 1 movement.
17.
17, it's no big deal for you. Single leap and a single kick and you're up, and then you crouch down in the brush there. Would you like to hide yourself? You are in cover. Go ahead and make a stealth check if you'd like to.
Stealth is a dirty 20.
That's fine. You move so fast that the goblins lose sight of you, and now you're hidden, careful, in the brush, waiting for your chance to strike. And we go now to Kronk, who stops the caravan.
Alright, so that was 3 actions, yes?
3 actions for you.
Alright, Kronk would like to rage.
Yeah!
So
Go ahead,
that's-
roll your fury die and set it aside.
That is a 3. So Kronk is just seen everything, and he's just
You tried to hurt Dorothy. I hurt you.
and Kronk just runs to this giant rat.
Runs down the road, and there's 3 goblins and a rat the size of a dog foaming at the mouth waiting for you.
You tried to hurt Horsey and my friends, and I hurt you.
And that is 1d10 plus strength.
Yep.
That's a
And
5.
don't forget to add your fury dice to the damage.
Oh yeah, I can do that too. So strength. So that's 7, and I'll add 1 to my fury die. So that would be an 8.
An 8. The axe comes down and caves the poor rat's head in. It doesn't even have time to squeak. The goblins to either side of it scream in fright. You must have killed their pet, because they raise their spears, trembling in fury, ready to strike back, ready to riddle you full of holes. But first, let's go to Phelan. 2 actions for you, Phelan.
I am also going to try and climb
Actually-
the cliff.
Yeah, you're going to scramble up the cliff to the left. Go ahead, make me a... You can choose either a might or a finesse check to get up there
Finesse.
if you
100% finesse. 15.
15, you scramble up, rush into the bush and find yourself face to face with one of the goblins, his spear inches from your face.
I am dual wielding my daggers and I'm just pouncing on them.
Yep, dual wielding, so go ahead, roll with advantage. How are we
I
doing on
rolled
damage there?
both of that roll was both max.
Both max, that's a crit. Go ahead, Phelan, roll again, but only for 1 dagger. It's not advantage on the crit.
That is also max.
That's an exploding crit. Go ahead, roll again.
Good God.
God damn.
And that is a 3, so that would be a... What? Crit. And...
Yep, so it would be daggers 1d4, so it'd be 4, 8. That's 11 damage from your one dagger strike.
God damn.
Plus dex.
14
Plus
plus
dex.
plus dex.
Yep.
So I add the plus 3 onto that.
Yep. The goblin has no time to react. The daggers just swish through the air. Use one of them to make him faint. He dodges to the left, but he doesn't see a second dagger, which comes up and goes right into his open mouth and pokes through the back of his skull. He squirms and gurgles and he goes down.
Bye-bye.
And then Cass, last but not least, you've got a single action.
Single action. Just range check. Is the goblin minion F, is it on the cliff or is it in the tree?
Yeah. He's...
Okay.
Well, imagine that tree is like... It's not a bush, so he's not concealed by it, just a big, tree. Imagine he's standing in the shade of the tree.
Okay, so he's not in, the branches or anything?
No, he's just standing on top of the
cool.
cliff. Yeah.
Alright. So I'll just raise out my left gauntlet again and go, I think we need to get a little bit further acquainted, and I will use Entice, which is 1d4, ignoring armor. So 1d4. Boop.
1 point of damage.
What?
But
Yeah.
he must move closer to you.
2 spaces closer.
2 spaces. Whatever you've done seems to rile him up. There's no discernible effect from your magic, other than the air around him seeming to waver. He shouts some goblin obscenities at you, raises his spear and rushes forwards, and then screams as he tumbles face first off the edge of the cliff and lands with a sickening crack at the bottom, his neck bent 90 degrees. And then, it's the
that'll be
enemy's
it.
turn.
Very nice.
Goblin Minion C pokes his head out from the branches next to you, Phelan. Charge! He shouts, running forward, and he pokes his spear into you, and that's going to be 3 points of damage to you, Phelan. Will you react and defend, or are you going to take that?
I will react and defend.
You defend. How much damage are you taking? None.
None.
Yep, you just dodge to the side, and the spear whiffs past you, cutting the air. Goblin Minion E hovers over the edge of the cliff to the east. He peers down at Cass and hurls his spear down at you. He's rolling with advantage because he's much higher than you are, Cass. That music is not appropriate. My bot is not repeating the music that it's supposed to be.
No,
Let's
we need...
just start.
Happy music's fine. This is fine. This is Kronk's, this is Kronk's Battle Jam.
It's not happy for the goblins. The spear sails down towards you, Cass, and that will be 5 points of damage. Unless you defend, of course.
Hey, wait, that was for me, sorry?
Yes,
Oh,
that was
that's
for
okay.
you.
Okay,
That was for you,
yeah,
Cass.
sorry. I will... Yeah, I'll react. And there'll be no damage then if it's 5.
No damage. The spear hits your mail, bounces off, clatters to the ground. The goblin begins throwing a temper tantrum. No! And then, Kronk, you've got 3 enemies facing you. The 2 goblin minions charge at once and attack at the same time, and that's going to be 10 points of damage for you, Kronk.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take it.
Take it. You're gonna use your ability. That all you got? You will
Actually,
lose your
yeah,
Fury
yeah,
die,
yeah.
though. Well, you can always
Yeah.
rage again next turn.
Well, does the rage still carry over since I attacked my last turn?
No, you're still raging, but you have no Fury dice because you're gonna spend it to soak that damage.
Also, I have to rage again each turn.
Yes, if you run out of
Okay.
Fury die.
Oh, if I ran out of Fury die,
Yes,
okay.
which this will, because you only have 1. So if you use that ability, you'll have to rage again.
No, I had 3. If I use another one, then I'll have...
Oh
No.
yes, yep.
If I use it, I'll have 1 left.
Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, no, because you raged once. So what happens, it says you can have a maximum of that many dice, and every time you rage, you only get 1. But you can rage, for example, you can rage twice in a turn if you want and get 2 dice. Yeah, that's how it works.
Okay, yep. No, I thought it was the numbers of the dice. Okay, my bad. Okay, so, yep. So...
Yep,
oh,
so that's... Yep, go ahead.
Did I use my Fury die when I attacked?
No, it stays until you spend it with this ability or your rage ends.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I'll spend it.
Yep, and so you get to reduce the damage by, let me see, strength plus dex. So 4 damage, which was the same as the Fury die anyway. So that 10 damage becomes 6. Then the goblin flunky, who appears to be the leader of the group, meets you eye to eye. He's unaware that Kale's hiding in the bushes. No one can see him. So he rushes up to you. He's only about half your size, mighty dragonborn, but he seems to be a lot more serious than his friends. He draws his blade and swings it towards you, and that will be 4 points of damage, Kronk. If you want, you can react and defend, or you can just take it.
Oh, my microphone was off. Oh, no, I'll take it.
You take it? Cool. It doesn't seem to phase you, Kronk. You're probably not even smart enough to register pain. So let's go to Kale, who's hiding in the bushes nearby.
I take aim at the goblin flunky.
Just as he's attacking your friend.
Yeah, and loose.
Yep, roll with advantage because you are hidden. This will break your stealth though.
So 6.
6, nice. The arrow hits him in the leg, the left leg. He hops around one-legged for a few minutes, and then he turns, sees where the arrow comes from, spies you, points at you, and shouts, "Get him!" What else would you like to do?
Reload and fire again.
Go ahead. This time it's with disadvantage unless you use your second action to mark.
I'm using Hunter's Mark.
Yep, which makes it a normal attack.
Yep. And that is a 5 damage.
5, nice. So he gets hit again, and this time it's in the other leg. He trips over and takes a second to scramble back to his feet, but he looks utterly pathetic as he does it. And that's your turn done. Next, let's go to
I thought
Phelan.
I got 3 actions.
Yeah, but you used one to use Hunter's Mark, didn't you?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yep. Phelan, you're up.
I'm gonna pounce on this guy again because he tried to hurt me.
Can you replicate what you did before? Let's see.
I would hope so. I cannot.
How much damage is he looking at?
Dual wielding 3, 4. So 7 plus 3.
Yep. Let me just double check how dual wielding works so I make sure we got it right. Bear with me, this is the first time I've run this game. Combat. Dual wielding, I believe, works a bit differently in this game. I think... Yes, how dual wielding works is you just get to pick one weapon that hits, but you're attacking with both of them, but you only get the damage from one, so he'll take 4 damage. But that's fine, that's still a nice, decent hit, and you bury that dagger right in his ribcage. He's only a lowly goblin minion, so that's enough for him. He gurgles and sputters and dies pathetically. And you still have 2 actions, Phelan. What would you like to do?
I am going to, I guess, climb back down the cliff and then move over into these bushes if I have enough movement.
Yep.
And
so
hide.
Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, go ahead. Make a stealth check to hide. As you dart into the bushes.
That is a 16.
16. Everyone's focusing on Kronk and Kale, so they don't see you leap down off the cliff and run into the nearby bush. And then, Cass, you're up.
All right, cool. One thing I just want to double check. With Entice, it was on hit. I rolled a 1 on the 1d4 on last round. So was that
he would have died from that damage because he's a minion. But
okay, I didn't know if because I rolled a 1, because I didn't know if that meant like it didn't hit or something.
Minions. Oh, actually did. Nah, spells.
Yeah,
can't.
because I rolled a 1 on the hit. Yeah.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. We'll just note it for next time.
All right. No, for next time. All right, gotcha. All right. So I've got 2 actions, right?
Yep. Well, 3 because you always get 3 back regardless of what your.
Yeah, but I also react defended from the goblin.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So 2 actions.
All right. So I'm actually going to. Good. It worked once before. Let's try. Actually, would you consider them? Is he in cover technically?
I'd say if he's higher than you, yeah. Let's say he's in partial cover.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's 4 spaces away. I'm going to cast Rebuke, which is 1d6. Ignoring armor, does not miss. 2 times damage against undead or cowardly. Those frightened or behind cover.
He's certainly hiding. He's ambushed you. He's certainly not courageous enough to face you on equal terms.
So let's see. I roll a 6, so it's 12 damage.
The cry of the Almighty rings out. A great celestial bell tolls. The goblin screams and falls dead.
I just look over at Kronk and the other goblin. Guess there's more. And I will start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll move 6 over.
Yep. And that's it. That's your turn done.
Yep,
Kronk.
that's all she wrote.
Kronk, last but not least, let's see what you can do. There's 3 goblins. You get 3 actions. Can you end this?
You hurt me. You hurt my horse. I hurt you.
I'm gonna roll for Goblin Flunky with
Yep.
a 10.
10. The axe comes down. He tries to parry it, but you strike with such force that the blade snaps. He has just enough time to scream before the axe cleaves the rest of his arm off, and he goes down.
Look at Goblin
You're next.
That is 2 plus my strength. That's a 4.
That's a 4. You look at him. Did you roll with disadvantage? Because it is your second attack of the round.
Oh yeah. That's right. So I need to roll 2d10s, correct?
Yep, and take the lowest one.
Okay. Well, the lowest was the 4.
That's fine. You turn around and on the backswing of the axe, bury the blade into his stomach, and he dies too. There's 1 goblin left. It looks up at you, trembling. Do you give him a chance to surrender, or do you bring that axe down on him too?
Oh, the overwhelming urge to avenge, trying to hurt a horsey or take him alive. Any of you guys going to try to talk this out of it? Do we need a goblin alive?
I don't know, do we?
Right, to
What
quote
does
the
Grom
Goblin
think?
Slayer, the only good goblin is a dead goblin.
Goblin! Alright, Kronk is looking at him and he's going, remember how I killed you last? I lied. So 3 disadvantages. Okay,
3 disadvantage, but all you need is 1 point of damage. Is only a goblin minion.
Okay, well, that was a 4. That's a 3. And that's a 7.
He drops his spear and he turns to run just as the axe comes down and thwack hits him in the back, knocks him off his feet, and then you step over, pull the blade of the axe down and bring it back onto his neck. And he's gone.
Kronk immediately runs over to the horsey and going out of rage, go, Horsey, are you okay? Did they hurt you? I love you, Horsey.
The horse looks at you. It's unharmed, a bit shaken, but there's not a scratch on it. It moves closer towards you, Kronk, and begins to nuzzle its head against
I'm sorry.
your shoulder.
In the theatre of my mind, all I hear is Kronk going to the horse. Did it hurt you? And the horse being like, nay.
Yeah, the horse just
good God.
begins to nuzzle you affectionately, Kronk. Somehow aware that if you had not intervened when you did, it would be dog food now. And the caravan itself is unharmed. All of the supplies are undisturbed. Not a single box, pouch, or bag has fallen off.
Krunk turns to everyone else while he's still bleeding out profusely after only got 10 HP left.
Is everyone else okay? Krunk's feeling a bit woozy. Krunk needs to lie down.
And on that note, because
Just
you're no
searching the
longer
bed.
in immediate danger, you guys can, at any time when you're not in immediate danger, take what in D&D would be called a short rest. In Nimble, it's called a field rest. You can catch your breath, which is where you just spend 10 minutes tending to your wounds, and you can roll your hit dice to recover HP, if you'd like to do that.
That would be nuts. It's my D12.
I'm just searching the dead and getting my arrows back.
Yep, darting
There's my
around.
D12.
Couple of them are bent from the force, but that's okay, you can always make more.
I'm just going to
20.
check around the cart, including under it, make sure there's no goblins have managed to sneak through the combat.
And it
Just,
seems
just
to
double
be
check.
clear for now.
All right.
They attacked you in a group of 6. They probably weren't expecting you guys to put up as much of a fight as you did.
Okay.
Would it be worth looting the goblins to see if they have anything on them?
Well, Kale's already doing it. He comes out of the bush and he's brandishing in his hands a
shit.
bundle of very dirty, very rusty spears and a couple of not armor, but shards of armor. That's what the goblins were using. They didn't have full armor. They had plates of scrap metal just sort of strapped to their bodies. He's holding a handful of that too. They don't appear to have anything valuable on them. No money, nothing that you could conceivably make use of, but there might be someone interested in this scrap that they're carrying.
Good find that, Bushman.
Just sort of walk over to Kronk and be like, that was excellent. Dealing with the 3 goblins. I just sort of inspect the injuries just to see on how bad they are.
Yeah, and Kronk seems to be the type of guy that, well, he thinks he's been very hurt, but really he hasn't. You look at his wounds, they're quite superficial. You dress them with some supplies in your pack, and after just resting, leaning against the caravan for about 10 minutes, Kronk appears to be perfectly fine, good as new.
Thank you, sir, Shepherd.
Have you got military training?
I what's that? I just hit stuff and things go explode.
You just see Casco blink twice to just fully understand how dumb the individual he's talking to is, and he's like, understood. Well, you did good regardless, big guy. Keep it up. And I just give him a tap on the back and I just walk off.
You just look back, you see Kronk with a massive shit in your green.
Yeah, I'm ready to do friends.
Takes you a few minutes to get the log that fell into the road out of the way, but then it's back to business as usual. Kronk clambers back into his spot on the caravan.
Is anyone strong enough to throw the log so Kronk can play fetch?
Actually, yeah.
I think I'm the next strongest in the party.
Hey, if Kronk can't do it, I don't think anyone can.
No.
Actually, yeah.
But now you've got him excited. Do you want to try? Go ahead, Kronk, make me a might check.
Good God.
How did we get stuck with this group again?
I have no fucking clue.
We unite to the round table, we dance whenever we're able.
I like to put. Anyway, that's a 14 on. Are you making any roll for each log or just?
Just to see if you can lift them. So
Alright,
just the
well,
14 will do.
Yep.
So I said it took a few minutes to get the logs out of the way. I'm going to amend that to about 20 seconds because Kronk walks up to the log, he puts his hands on it, and you just hear him grunting. And you think he can't do it, but then all of a sudden, miraculously, he hoists the log up into the air and with a great shout, hurls it into the brush. It hits one of the other trees, and that tree almost looks like it's going to fall over. Then the way is clear.
I just sort of tap Cass on the shoulder. I'm like, remind me not to annoy him.
You're telling me.
Probably wise. And then...
Imagine all that strength with some discipline behind it.
Yeah,
Awesome
If he had a
doesn't
brain,
know-
it'd be dangerous.
You probably can't
Indeed.
even say the word discipline.
I lack a discipline.
And then the caravan continues on its way, further down the King's Reach. This time, you walk with your weapons, with your hands on the hilts of your weapons, ready in case there's another ambush, but the rest of the journey is uneventful, and the sun is slowly descending down, painting the sky red when you crest a hill and see the village of Merrivale waiting down below.
Which way are we entering in from?
I'll just point, we'll say here,
Alright, cool.
from the east. The
Right,
King's
good.
Reach comes from the east, descends down into the town.
Yeah, right, yeah, good point.
So Merrivale is a humble town in the Valley of Hope. It's surrounded by rolling hills and fertile fields. Quaint cottages dot the landscape with a gentle river, the Sanguine River, winding through its heart. But despite its modest size, the town is known throughout the valley for its warm, welcoming community and its famous Harvest Festival. Famous for basically being a night where everyone just gets shit-faced and parties and plays games and then passes out and sleeps until late into the afternoon the next day. These things make Merrivale a favoured resting spot for travellers on their way to Far Hope. As the caravan rolls slowly down the hills, past the outlying farms, a voice rings out from the bridge ahead. "Oi, halt! Who goes there?" And there, standing in the shadow cast by the groaning old mill, you see 3 young militiamen, all of them trembling as they brandish their weapons in your direction. "State your purpose!"
We're here to deliver this fine horsey and whatever we have in the back. It's a very nice horsey.
I just look up at Krog and I just look back at them and go, put down the spears, you idiots. We're here for the Harvest Festival. We got the supplies you asked for.
You're
And
not
it's nice horse.
Sorry.
You're not
And the
goblins. You don't look like goblins, stutters the man in the middle. The one to his left rolls his eyes and shrugs and says, "Of course they're not goblins, Cor. Look at them. I'd say they're those folks what Mayor Tills said will be coming round out from Far Hope. That'd
Well,
be
if you
right,
look-
wouldn't it?
If you're looking for goblins, there's some down the road.
Aye, we've been having trouble with goblins lately. Strange, usually they sticks to themselves up in the older wild, but they've been raiding the outlying farms. They've been very uppity of late, says the militiaman. Anyway, I'm Sills Worrell, and this, he clamps his hand on the trembling man next to him, who asked if you were goblins. This is Cor, and this man here to me right is Tybris. We're the town militia. we're responsible for keeping Merrivale safe from all of the nasties and creepies and ghoulies out there in the valley, ain't we, boys? The other two look like they can't keep the town safe from a fly, but you decide maybe to keep this to yourself.
I don't think we're nasty.
I mean, don't look like you could keep the town safe from a fucking fly.
No, you actually say it. Cor and Tiberius look at each other. He's right, you know, says Cor. Don't know what Captain Shortbow wants with us. We only finished our training yesterday. Sills rolls his eyes again. He looks over at you and he says, well,
No.
You do speak the truth. Been a lot of things happening of late, and if I'm totally honest with you, it's many things that are above our pay grade. In fact, Mayor Tills was saying he might petition the Golden Company, get some adventurers down here, help us deal with what's going on. If you're interested in that, you're free to speak to him. Anyway, I can lead you guys through the town and take you to Mayor Tills' manor if you'd like.
We're not going to get mistaken as goblins again, are we?
Well, they're one of many problems. We've got goblins, we've got animals in the woods getting all uppity, and, take a look up the road there. He points past the old mill, points to the outlying farm fields, and you didn't notice it as you came into town. You just thought the crops seemed to be doing unusually well this year, but now you look at it, you notice the fields appear to be overrun, not just the crop fields, but the spaces in between them too. The blades of grass are tall, gnarling, twisting over each other. There are vines and creepers wrapped around fence posts. Plants have been going wild too, says Sims.
Can I do a naturecraft check to see if I can determine if I know anything about why things might be going crazy or not?
You sure can. Go ahead.
I was also going to ask if I could inspect the grounds around us.
Yeah, go ahead. Both of you roll your checks. Examination for you and naturecraft for Kale.
24.
24.
So that's like natural 20 plus my 4.
That is a natural 20. So
17.
Kale, you just take a look at this overgrowth and it is immediately clear to you that it is not natural. You wouldn't really be able to pinpoint what's causing it without studying the plants in detail, and that might take several days, but immediately you can determine that there are usually only a few things that can cause this. One would be some kind of chemical pollutant in the soil. Another would be some kind of botanical magic, either naturally run amok. Sometimes the magic of the wilds gets chaotic like that, usually because of disturbances in the woods, or someone has cast a spell deliberately. And you, Phelan, you glean much the same, save for the insight about magic, but what you notice is that several of the vines that are wrapped around the fence posts appear to have rather gnarly thorns, wicked, curved red thorns. You notice that over in the crop field, several of the crops appear to be strangled under this overgrowth, as if it's desperately trying to wrestle them back down into the earth.
It's definitely not natural.
Yeah.
Mayor Tills has been wanting some people to look into it, says Sills. He's offering a gold reward. Was gonna get a petition out after the harvest festival. You know, get down and dirty, get to work. Anyway, if you're all done, follow us, he says. He motions for the 2 militiamen to walk ahead of him. I'll take you through town, introduce you, and harvest festival's tomorrow. You'd be welcome to stay and take part if you like.
Buck likes having party with friends. Come on, guys, let's do it! Yay!
Here we go again.
You follow the militiamen. Go ahead. Were you going to say something, Cassian?
Nah.
Yep.
I was agreeing.
You follow the militiamen down the main road, over the bridge, over the Sanguine River, and into Merrivale proper. It's getting late in the day, the sky is starting to turn purple, the shadows are growing longer, and most of the people are already indoors. You pass a couple of farm hands, the last lone stragglers making their way in from the fields at the end of the day. The militiamen wave and nod. And each time you pass one of the farmhands, they just give each of you a suspicious look. They're probably used to seeing adventurers here in Merrivale, you figure, but you also figure that most of the adventurers don't stay very long. They probably figure it's not worth greeting you, learning your names, because you'll just be gone again tomorrow. Eventually, you come to Merrivale's Manor. It's halfway down the main street. You can immediately tell that it's Merrivale's Manor because it towers over every other building in town. 2 floors tall and at least 3 times the footprint of any of the small, quaint cottages on either side. Standing at guard in front of the door is a gruff-looking dwarf. He's wearing rusted chainmail and has a long red beard that's so scraggly that the only part of his face you can actually see is his bright blue eyes and his brow. The militiamen immediately greet him, giving him a salute. He takes this opportunity to size each of you up. Then he steps forwards. He pats the axe slung over his shoulder in the holster, and he says, "I'm Captain Bruin Shortbow of the Merrivale Militia. We've been expecting you. You're welcome to stay the night, but let me tell you now, any trouble here, and I won't hesitate to have you locked up. We don't take kindly to adventurers thinking they own the place here."
I just look at him and I'm just like, how do you plan to do that? And I just look over at the 3 militiamen and I look back at him going, we're not going to cause problems, but if there were, I don't think there's a thing you could do to stop that.
You just point to Kronk.
No, I just look back at the 3 militiamen. I'm just looking back at the 3 militiamen and then swing straight back at him like, yeah,
they tremble. They visibly tremble. And the dwarf, Captain Shortbow, trying to save face, doesn't acknowledge what you said. Instead, he just nods and he says, "Well, we'll get along then. Come, Mayor Tills is waiting for you." He opens the door to the manor and gestures for you to step inside. "Leave the caravan out here. I'll have Tybris and the boys unpack it for you.
No,
and we'll
we're
be
just gonna bring
counting
the
each of
horse
those.
indoors.
That'll be
Go make sure the horse is safe.
The horse will be attended to as well. We've got a luscious stable out round back. And let me tell you now, all of the trinkets we ordered from the Artisans Guild in Farhope will be counted to make sure they're all present and accounted for. If any are missing, it will be docked from your pay."
As it's gone missing, we made sure everything got here safe and sound.
Yes, well, we'll be the judge of that, won't we, boys? He looks over and the 3 militiamen are already unpacking the goods. One of them, the shaky one, Core, has already grabbed one of the lock boxes, thrust a key and opened it. "Oh, shiny," he says, ripping the golden gem-encrusted goblet out and holding it up above, showing everyone. "Put that away," shouts the other militiaman, elbowing him. And then you step into Mayor Tills's manor. You step through the entrance hall. It's not well appointed compared to something that you'd see in Farhope, but for a village like Merrivale, you get the impression that the mayor is living in luxury. There's properly upholstered furniture, the house is immaculately clean, several rooms, each of them fully furnished, spotless, each of them with tasteful paintings of the surrounding wilds. You make your way into a small sitting room at the back, a sitting room that occasionally doubles as the dining room, judging by the half-eaten meals and spread that have already been laid out on it. There's a couple maids and servants still in the process of cleaning everything up. Mayor Till still sits at the table. He's an elderly human man, hair grey, the hair that he has left anyway, his face wrinkled as leather. He looks up, and unlike his guard outside, greets you with a broad smile. "Ah, we've been expecting you. Please, take a seat," he motions one of the servants. "Get some victuals for our friends here. I'm sure they've come a long way. You wouldn't say no to a drink and something to eat, would you?"
Kronk hungry.
No, I thought so.
I just raised my hand up, so I'm good.
I'm just lurking in the background, eyeing everything up.
So after you've made yourselves comfortable, whether that involves sitting or lurking, and the servants have brought out the refreshments for those who requested them, laying a jug of milk and some glasses on the table, some plates of biscuits and jerky, and some luncheon meats that have long grown cold, Mayor Tills gets down to business. "Well now, the militiamen will make sure everything's accounted for, and I assume that everything will be accounted for, and then we'll have everything we need to begin the Harvest Festival just in time. It is tomorrow, you know. You see, we are quite self-sufficient here in Merrivale, but I'm sure you noticed coming into town that some of the crops are, well, not quite ready for harvest. Well, we can't have a Harvest Festival without food and drink, can we? So I ordered some supplies from Farhope, and also while we were at it, had a couple of the town's heirlooms and trinkets evaluated and repaired and restored by the Artisans Guild. And they'll be put on prominent display during the festival. We'll be offering them as gifts, as tokens of respect to the fairy tree in the town square.
Fairy tree?
In the fairy tree, yes. I don't know if you've heard stories of Merrivale, but every year at the Harvest Festival, we give thanks to the fairy tree. It's the large oak in the center of town. Now, there's a fairy that resides in the tree. Only those of pure heart may see her, and many go their whole lives without being lucky enough to get the chance. But we know she's there, and it's thanks to the fairy's influence, thanks to her stewardship of the town, that the harvests of Merrivale are always bountiful. It's how we're able to live here in peace and harmony and never have to worry about the terrors that lurk out there in the wilds. Eventually, one of the servants comes and hands Mayor Tills a leather pouch. He opens it, pulls the drawstrings, he begins counting out gold coins, stacking them into 4 piles there on the table. Yes, well, Captain Shortbow says everything in the caravan is accounted for, so as promised by the Golden Company, that will be 30 pieces of gold for each of you. He divides them up and pushes the piles toward you. And I'll be sending word over to Marla Homebrew at the Valley's Rest. I'm sure you'd like to put your feet up and rest before you head back to Farhope. She'll give you rooms tonight. My shout, of course, as thanks for getting the supplies here in such good condition. Oh, and the horse will be given a nice bucket of barley and sugar and all mixed together, and a nice scrub down as well.
I just
Horse get care of, yay.
I would just like to, look up at the mayor and be like, "So you said the fairy, right? Guards the town, gives you bountiful harvests."
Yes. If you'd like to know more, you can speak with Father Bell at the Shrine of the Almighty. I see by the markings on you, you're a man of the Almighty yourself.
You could say that.
Well, Father Bell tells us that the fairy within the tree works under the divine providence of the Almighty, bestowing blessings upon the village in the Almighty's stead, provided, of course, that all of us here remain living a godly existence.
I just sort of point towards the the direction of where we saw the fields overgrown. And I just go, well, seems somehow you pissed it off.
His face falls and his
whole
demeanor seems to shift. And as you reach the door frame, you just hear him say, "Yes, well, that's a whole other matter entirely. I was looking to hire some folks to look into it. If you'd be interested, there would be a reward, of course. Not that I'm implying a man of the Almighty needs to have his appetite whetted by gold."
Well, do you have any leads?
A few. But I'll have to reach out, make sure Captain Shortbow briefs me on everything we know. There's an old druid who lives a bit north of here, between the village and the Elder Wild. Goes by the name of Lyriel Green Whisper. We've been thinking of sending some of those strange plants to her for analysis, see what she knows. But, well, if you're interested, I'll tell you more about it tomorrow, after the festival. For tonight, why don't you head over to the Valley's Rest, put your feet up, get some beer in you, and prepare for the festivities tomorrow. We'll have lots of games, lots of fun, and then afterwards we can all sit down and discuss what needs to be done.
It's all good. I'm a bit sleepy.
He just continues to try to talk, but he's just like just yawning, and you can't understand anything.
We should probably get that one to bed.
Mertil
Before
says,
he
yes,
passes out on your floor.
Yes, well, just head down to the left where you came in, past the fairy tree, and the Valley's Rest Inn is right there. You'll recognize it by the picture of the manticore on the sign. Tell Marla Homebrew, the proprietor, that I sent you, and she'll be happy to accommodate you. And, well, I know that you haven't had the best impression from the militia so far, but I would just like to say the village thanks you genuinely for what you've done.
I whisper under my breath all such things. Apparently we're goblins. I walk out the door.
What time would it be right now?
Let's say about maybe 7 p.m. or so. The sun's getting very low in the sky. It's more night than it is day at this point.
Okay.
Don't you figure during the festival tomorrow you'll have plenty of time to meet this Father Bell and talk, shop with him?
Alright, cool.
So, you once again step out into the town. You're greeted with a gruff nod from Captain Shortbow. The wagon, the horse, and the militia boys are gone, nowhere to be seen, and you make your way lonely towards the Valley's Rest Inn. Step into the deserted town square and set your eyes upon the fairy tree for the first time. A large golden tree that proudly stands in the middle of the town square. To the townsfolk, this is apparently a symbol of hope and good fortune. And apparently, hidden among its branches is a fairy who grants small blessings to those offering fresh flowers or kind words. But, for the most part, it just seems to be an ordinary, if grand and imposing tree. Does anyone want to do anything to it? Offer their respects, touch it, examine it, or do you press on to the Valley's Rest Inn, the double-story, wooden, thatched building behind it, where, as promised, the image of a manticore blows in the evening wind?
Crunk looks up at the big fairy tree.
Oh, this is a big, beautiful tree. I can see why they give a festival for it. It's beautiful.
It is indeed beautiful. And Kronk, as you stare at it, you almost get the sense that the tree, or maybe something within it, is staring back at you.
I love you, tree.
Ayo, our resident wild man, does the tree pique your interest in any way?
I'm doing a nature craft check on it again.
Yeah, go ahead, roll one.
22.
22. So to you, it seems to be a fairly standard, if venerable oak tree. Based on its size and girth, you'd say it's probably older than the village, at least a century old or more. You know that sometimes trees like this are inhabited by wood sprites and other fey creatures, but it would be unusual for one to appear this far south of the Elder Wild, the big grand forest from which you hail, where almost every tree has some manner of sprite or beastie within it.
Yeah.
I'll
Wonder
walk
why
up
it's
to
so
the-
far out of the rest of the forest.
In fact, you get the sense, based on its position and how the town is built, that the village almost seems to be constructed around this tree.
Yeah.
You press on and push through the door of the Valley's Rest Inn into the warmth and glowing fires within. And inside, it appears, even though the festival is tomorrow, it's already in full swing. You're immediately greeted by the din of voices, the sound of glasses and tankards clinking, people shouting as they roll dice and arm wrestle, and the exasperated voice of Marla Homebrew as she negotiates with some of her more unruly guests. You've already had 6 flagons tonight. Now, I'll only get you 1 more. At this point, she notices that the door is open. She looks up and sees you standing there. Ah, out-of-towners. Come in, come in. Close the door behind you. Look around, try and find a place to sit. She glances across the crowded tavern. I think there's a table in the corner over there, and I'll be with you in a moment. Or are you looking for a place to stay?
Place to stay.
The weird man in the big house said we could stay here and he would pay for it.
Oh, Mayor Tills. Oh, right. You must be the ones the Golden Company sent from Farhope, but to help us deal with whatever's going on with the plants and the goblins. And the festival too, of course. Alright, they're just here for your cooking, aren't they, Marla? Shouts someone from the crowd. People who've heard of it all the way up in Farhope have to come and try it for themselves. Oi, not because it's any good, mind, shouts someone else. Probably they've heard she's the worst cook in the old valley, they have. Quiet,
you make good food? Crunk would like to try some of that yummy food. Crunk hungry.
Ah, well, I'll treat you to our special here, she says, beaming. Manticore stew. Tell you what, take a seat. I'll get a pot on the boil and, you there, Ruby, come over here. She motions, and a small girl of no older than 8 or so with curly blonde hair pokes her head out from behind the counter. Yes, ma'am. Ruby, I want you to go upstairs and prepare... She counts each of you. I think we have 2 rooms spare. Go and prepare 2 rooms, 4 beds for our fine folk here. And while Ruby's doing that, she says, why don't you make yourselves comfortable and I'll be back with your dinner shortly. She gives you a wink, turns, and disappears once more into the din of the crowd. You make your way to the little rickety wooden table in the corner and sit down, and Kronk, you're so big that the chair barely functions as a chair for you. It feels more like someone's poking a stick up your backside to prop you up.
Duh, it's okay. I'll just stand. Lots of people are having fun. Why are we having fun, guys? It's a celebration.
Crunk's just
Well,
getting in the mood and ambience of everything, and it's just making him like a really, really happy child.
Like it, do ya? Shouts somebody, seeing the smile on your face. Know how to roll dice? They teach you that up there in Farhope.
I definitely most will.
Yeah, that piques Cass's interest as well. Because he's already got a pair of dice. He's just fumbling around with his hand.
I'm
Before
looking at...
Go ahead.
Kronk's looking at the people doing arm wrestling. That's more his speed.
And he sort of, like a distracted child, just like drifts off towards their table.
Yep.
Meanwhile, 3 men with incredibly scraggly hair pull chairs up to your table, sit down, and one of them pulls a pouch of dice out from his pocket. He counts the dice out, and the game goes underway. Kronk, you wander up to the table where 2 burly men are arm wrestling. Just as you get there, the slightly bigger man slams his opponent's hand down on the table. He raises his other arm in victory and shouts, "Yeah! Next drink's on you, Fred!" Fred hangs his head. He says, "I'll get you next time." Then they both notice you, and the bigger man hunches forwards. "Oh, now you look like a worthy challenge."
Krunk knows how to play this game. Can Krunk play too?
"Oh, pull up a chair, I'd be happy. Only thing is, loser has to buy next round."
Okay, so you'll buy next round.
"If you can beat me," he says. "Keep in mind, no one in this here tavern's ever managed to do it." Let's see what you've got.
Krunk's giggling like a little child and going, "Yeah, come on."
And so the contest begins. You lock hands with him, and let's see how quickly you put him down. Make a might check for me.
That is a 18 plus 4.
18 plus 4. It takes about 2 seconds. Slam! His hand goes down on the table, and there's a genuine look of shock and surprise on his face. He doesn't have time to say anything before seemingly the whole tavern cheers, begins to clap, and Fred, the man who was just beaten, shouts, "Yay!
Did you
Hey!
think Krunk wins? Krunk has 2 friends?
Gruff, you're buying drinks not only for this bloke, but for all the rest of us. Someone's finally wiped that grin off your face." He comes up and thumps you on the back like a good friend. Been waiting for someone to come through town strong enough to knock him off his block.
I do the same thing, but I don't know my own strength, and I pretty much just knock him down.
You knock him down, and immediately everyone else laughs. Someone shouts out, "Oi! What's your poison?" "Gruff's paying for it."
out of character. I'll have your finest elvish wine.
Oh yeah, we know what that is. Meanwhile, on the other table, we have Phelan and Cass. And Kale, are you playing the dice game as well, or are you just...
I'm just sitting with Phelan and Cass and passing comment along lines of, "Is it just me, or are these villagers stupider than Kronk?"
It seems like it.
It's probably true. And
You've had too
you're
much
about
to drink.
They're a town of farmers. What did you expect?
They're either very stupid or very drunk. Probably the latter, you guess, based on the fact that the guy, as he's counting the dice out on the table, manages to fumble and drop 2 of them off. They roll onto the floor, and when he bends over to pick them up, he tumbles off his chair. He swears loudly as he lands on the wooden floor with a thump, and then cheers as he slams the 2 dice onto the table. "All right, you roll first, pretty lady," he says as he pushes them to you, Phelan.
I whisper at them, "Drunk, definitely drunk."
So, Phelan, are you going to play this game honestly, or are you going to live up to the name of your class and cheat?
I am living up the name of my class.
Go ahead and make me a finesse roll then, please.
Easy done. $17.
And Cass, would you like, if you want, you can make a perception roll to see if you notice her cheating.
I will definitely be doing that.
I do that as well, just for shits and giggles.
Sure can.
+5,
Sure can.
24. 24.
Now, do you say something?
16.
I just
16. So,
I
and
just
what
keep
did
my eye on her.
and what did you get, Phelan, on your check? Brit, you muted.
Sorry, 1 second.
Sorry. Yeah,
Mic issues again.
mic issues. It's okay.
I'm trying not to let all the static noise come through.
That's
but
fine,
It's
I
a
can
little
barely-
bit hard sometimes.
I
It's
can
alright.
barely hear it. It's okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're all good.
Yeah.
What do I do for the
So finesse, that's just roll a d20 and add your finesse skill.
Yeah, so I rolled a 17 for that. Yeah.
17. So, Kale, you don't see it. She is admittedly good at what she does, but Cass, you do. You watch, you notice as she slips 2 loaded dice out of her sleeve, quickly swaps them out for the ones that are on the table and rolls, and ends up rolling the highest possible score on her first and only roll. Do you say anything?
I look over to her on the side and just go, a very nice roll. And
very good at this game.
I give her like almost a wink, like a knowing, just like I know what you're doing, but I'm just keeping it to myself.
And then you roll, and you have no hope of matching her score, nor does anyone else on the table. Hey, the lady knows how to play dice, says the drunk man. A round for our new friends. What round? You ain't got 2 coppers to rub together, says the man next to him. Oh, true that, says the man, sadly. Well, next time then.
Wait,
I
we
put
are
a gold
betting?
down on the. I'll put a gold down on the table and just say, a round for everyone.
Hey, wish Father Bell was like him, eh?
What is he
Finally.
like?
Oh, well, you know those priestly types, or do you? Bit down to earth, maybe too down to earth. You'd never catch him in here drinking and playing dice.
You'd be
God.
surprised what you can find mine of the cloth. You can find them all over the place.
You'll see him at the festival tomorrow. He'll stand on the edge and he'll just watch while everyone does everything. Everyone has fun without him. And then when it's time to put an offering up for the fairy tree, then suddenly he'll spring into action and he'll give his little sermon and bore us all about why we should give to the poor and pray every day, or else the forest will come and consume the whole village and eat us all, or whatever he thinks will happen.
I just sort of eye back at the fairy tree through a window, and I'll just go,
Really now? Interesting.
Finally, Marla appears, steaming pots of manticore stew. Although, judging by the chunks of meat floating in it, that's probably just a fancy name for a meal that's not fancy at all. She smiles as she hands a dish to each of you. And then just as you are sitting down to begin your dinner, a tiny scream sends the inn's patrons into a hush. They look at the door, then to you. The only ones here seemingly capable of handling anything scarier than a stray sheep. What do you do?
I'll go check it out.
I follow behind.
I'll come too.
Alright, Kale, you're the first up, so you get to roll the perception check.
Natural 1.
Oh, no.
Natural 1. By this time, it is well and truly dark outside, so through the window, all you can see is blackness. But I will say that as you get up, over the din, well, there's no din in the bar anymore, over the hushed voices and awkward silence, you do hear the sound of a dozen or so small feet shuffling somewhere outside in the dark. Right, says Marla. Whatever's going on out there, free dinner to whoever deals with it. At this, Fred, at this, Gruff, the man who was soundly just beaten in the arm wrestling, stands up, wobbling from side to side. He grabs a pitchfork that's lying against one of the tables and shuffles towards the door. I'll set him right, he says.
No one gonna stop him? Hmm?
Crunch just stands up and like puts a giant hand pretty much covering his head, but not meaning to. He's going,
You sit down. We take care of this.
I'm finally just gonna get up after like taking it by the spoon, just going like ash in my mouth, and I'll finally just get up and try and peek through a window, see what the hell's going on.
Okay, you can go ahead and make a perception check while Kronk leads the others towards the door, forcing Gruff to stand down.
Nat 20, 25.
Nat 20. You see several, well, quite frankly, you've seen them earlier today, so you instantly recognize the goblin-shaped silhouettes moving in a single file out through the town square, approaching the fairy tree.
Yep, I see that, I sprint out the door.
Crash! The door opens and you all pile outside. Opening the door, you're facing down a pack of goblins who clearly look like they've been caught red-handed. There's a goblin in the back riding on top of a giant rat, and he's quickly stuffing something into his pack. With your nat 20, Cass, I will tell you that you catch a glimpse of it as he shoves it into his pack. Something tiny, something with kicking legs and flailing arms.
And
As he finishes,
I have a fair
Go
idea
ahead.
of that. I was just going to say, I'd have a fair idea what that meant.
Yes. As he finishes forcing the seeming fairy into his pack, he notices you, or he shouts, "Get him, boys!" And then the rat begins to scurry away into the darkness as the other goblins beside him draw their weapons and advance. Roll for initiative, guys.
I was about to ask, before we roll, am
Go
I
ahead.
able to use the darkness to try and...
You want a stealth? Go ahead, make a
Yeah.
stealth check. You can hide you're standing, but you exit last, and in the chaos of them noticing you, you can just slip away to the side.
that is a 19 for Kronk.
2 actions for Kronk. 2 actions
14
for
for
Cass.
Cass.
Yep.
19 for the stealth.
Ooh, yep, you're hidden. Now you can roll for initiative.
14 initiative for Kale.
So 2 actions for everyone. And Phelan,
19
how
for
about
the
you?
initiative.
19 for the initiative. So 2 actions for everyone, and Phelan, while this is going on, you take the opportunity to quickly scurry and hide behind one of the abandoned market stalls, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. And in fact, Phelan, you can go first.
Ooh.
I actually want to try and move behind them.
Move behind them? Sure. So that'll
Yeah.
be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can get behind them with both of your movement actions, moving into the shadow of the fairy tree, but I will require another stealth check since you're coming out briefly into the open.
Easy. I rolled an 18, so that's a 22.
Nice. You roll from one bit of cover to the next, darting between the market stalls, and slide calmly, carefully, silently into the shadow of the fairy tree, pressing your back against its trunk, unseen. Alright. Cass, you can go next.
Alright. I first just slam my hand into Kronk's chest and cast True Strike on him.
Oh,
And it's
what's
just
that
like,
do?
Get him, big guy. So that will give you a creature advantage on the next attack they make until the end of their next turn.
Yeah.
Oh.
So your first attack, you'll have advantage.
You
And
feel
then
you feel the invigoration of the Almighty surging through your body. And Cass, next, what would you like to do?
next, I'm going to cast. Let's do entice. Hang on. Let's see. Here we got 1, 2. Let's do it on Goblin Flunky A. Yeah, let's do it on A. Yep. So
Go ahead.
1d4. So I just yell and be like, "Away from that tree now!"
3 points of damage.
ignoring armor, and he has to move 2 spaces closer to me.
As if in a trance, he locks eyes with you and begins to slowly walk forwards, pushing his minions out of the way. And
Very
now
nice.
we'll go to Kale. You're up.
I take a step forward and proceed to target Goblin Flunky B.
Yep. Gonna mark him, or just loose an arrow?
Just gonna loose an arrow.
Go ahead.
And that is 1d6 plus my dex. That's 5.
5. Twang goes the bow. The arrow sails through the air and hits the flunky on his left shoulder. It bounces off, hits the ground, but he stumbles and yells in pain, clearly not appreciating that.
Can I... try and...
You wouldn't be able to do anything else because you said you moved and then you did.
Oh yeah, I took a step forward, so that's
yep.
moving's an action, isn't it? So,
That's
yeah.
correct.
All right.
Yep. So Kronk, you're up and you have True Strike, so the next attack you make will be with advantage.
Cass, do you want to point out to me which one has the bag?
Do I know which one's got the bag? Or they ran off.
Yeah,
didn't
they were the Rat Rider who've scurried away.
Okay.
Yeah, they've already fucked off into the distance.
Yep, you're gonna have to chase them down after you're done here.
Yep.
All right. Well, Kronk is just going to point his axe at Goblin Flunky. Yeah, I can make that. Point at Goblin Flunky P.
You took something that doesn't belong to you.
And
Run up and go.
That's A.
Yep.
So I roll 2d10s, yeah?
Yep, and take the highest.
Sick.
Get him, big guy.
And a 10.
10. Ooh, very nice. You scream and charge towards him, and even though you're apparently very tired and still haven't eaten, that axe comes down with such force that it knocks him off his feet. He flies through the air, lands on his back, and groans in pain. He scurries back to his feet and is ready to fight back, but he looks severely beaten and bloodied.
So, but because that was a crit, so do I roll that
Yeah,
damage again?
that's yes. Go
Bloody
ahead.
crits.
All right. Oh, that's only a 4.
That'll do it though. Just as he stands back up and is ready to fight back, you pull the axe up and on the back swing, lop off his head. It hits the cobblestone, bounces once, twice, and then rolls away, leaving a bloody trail.
Yeah,
And-
you take that and put that in your bag, you stupid goblins.
And now, it's the enemy's turn. Incensed that you just took out their friends, goblin minions A, B, and C charge across the square towards you, Kronk, surrounding you, flanking you. Luckily, there's no flanking rules in Nimble, but they're still going to attack you all at once. Their spears poking, trying to riddle you full of holes, and that's going to be... Let me see... 7... That's going to be 8 points of damage, Kronk.
So if I take my action defend and my armor's 3, that would be
5.
5 damage. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yep. Goblins... The first 2 minions manage to break your skin, much to your chagrin. The third one, he strikes, and he manages to cut the edge of your loincloth, and whatever's under there smells horrible. So he gags, nearly throws up, and takes a step back.
Oh no.
Understandable reaction.
Goblin minions D, E, and F all charge forwards. Minions D and F charging towards Kale, striking him, poking with their spears, and Kale, that'll be 6 points of damage.
Is What about armor? How does that work?
So if you want, you can now use a reaction to defend, where you just subtract your armor from the damage. You can only do it once per round.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, so what's your armor?
5.
So that's 1 point of damage for you.
Cool.
How's everyone got so much higher armor than me? Jesus.
Because you don't need armor. You've got tank loads of HP, and you can rage and reduce damage. Goblin minion E stands where he is. He locks his eyes onto Cass and hurls his spear through the air. And Cass, that will be 4 points of damage.
Sorry, was that to me?
Yep, 4 points of damage as the spear sails
alright,
through
yeah,
the
I'll
air.
just take it on the chin.
Yep. It hits you and you feel the impact stumble backwards, but it doesn't seem to be serious damage. And then Goblin Flunky B takes a step forwards, just enough to get all of you in his sight. He eyes Kale, noticing that he seems to be keen with his bow and arrow. He unslings a bow of his own and looses an arrow towards you, Kale, and that'll be 7 points of damage. You've already defended this round, unfortunately, so you just have to take it. But then, it's your guys' turn, and let's go to you, Phelan.
I'm going to be using Vicious Opponent against Flunky B.
Yep.
Using my short sword. So I'm going to be running up behind, and because using Vicious Opponent, I can essentially just make that an instant crit roll.
Yes, you can,
Oh, shit.
because Vicious Opportunist, when you hit a distracted target with a melee attack, you may change the primary die roll to whatever you like. And yes, changing it to the max counts as a crit.
Damn!
So I'm rolling that as a 1d6, which is already a 6, plus the extra 3, but I also get a 1d6 extra because of my sneak attack damage on top of it.
You
if I
sure
hit it.
do. Yep, because it then triggers your sneak attack, which deals extra damage when you crit. So let's see how much he's taking.
That is also a crit.
That is also a crit.
Yeah.
Yep, well, this is what rogues are good at.
So that's a 15.
Oh,
15. So, Phelan, he sees nothing. No one sees anything. They don't even notice you've left the shadow of the fairy tree. All they see is that Goblin Flunky is knocking another arrow on his bow, ready to fire at Cass and Kalen, and all of a sudden, the tip of a short sword blade pokes out through the front of his neck. It pulls back, shing, and his limp body drops to the ground.
That is me, because I moved and I attacked.
Yep, it was you. Alright, next we will go to Kronk.
You governor trying to poke me, that's not very nice. And you're still more of an offense, so
Attack. I'll go with Goblin C, who took a massive whiff of whatever is festering underneath my loincloth.
Yeah, he's still gagging. And he's a goblin, so whatever it is must be awful.
That is a 7. What's? Wait, 8. 8. No,
You
sorry,
take
9.
You take advantage of the fact that he's doubled over, gagging, to just neatly bring the axe down, lopping his head off as well.
Excellent. I will go for Goblin B next.
Right behind you, you whirl around, axe in hand.
there's another D10 I don't have to roll twice.
Yep,
Okay,
you have to
so...
roll with disadvantage.
Oh, why did it have to be a disadvantage? I got a 7 and a 10.
Oh,
But
you
either
could
way,
have
that's
crit.
a 9. Yeah.
That is still enough. You nearly miss him. You turn around and he's got time to dodge, but the tip of the blade still strikes him, and it cuts through the little scrap of armor he's wearing, and his guts spill out onto the cobblestone. And you have another action, Kronk.
No, I have 2 because I defended and
Yes, that's
attack.
right. Yep, so you're done.
Yep.
All right, Kale, you're up.
Master Archer.
Did something happen to the archer?
Yeah, I turned the power off on my mic by accident.
I do that all the time.
Daggers can be used without having to throw them as well, can't they?
They sure can. You can just stick it in someone's ribcage if you want.
Yeah.
Because
I put the dagger from my belt quickly and stick it into Goblin Minion D right between the ribs.
Yep, go ahead. Roll your damage. You only need to hit him.
That's D4 plus deck. So that's a 4.
So from you, it's less of a dagger and more like a sharp tooth. You bury it in his blade and then rip it out, and it takes a chunk of his leathery skin and flesh with it as he goes down.
Yep. Could I do the same against a Goblin Minion F?
Yep. But it will be with disadvantage unless you mark him.
I'll mark him. And that's 5.
5. He starts to back away a little bit, but you strike fast and hard. You strike with the fury of a wolf and cut him so hard that you can see bone underneath there. He has just enough time to look down at the gaping wound, clutch his hand to it in a vain attempt to stop the bleeding before all colour drains and he falls.
That's the end of my turn.
Cass, you're up. 2 left.
2 left. I'm going... Oh, we probably need to keep 1.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Maybe.
Because if not necessarily, because we're going to be chasing after Ratman.
Exactly.
Yes, and we do have someone who's very good at tracking because they lived all their life in the wilds.
Yeah, so I'm just I'll look over at Kale and be like, "You don't need 1 left, do you?"
No.
Good. And I've got 3 actions, yeah? So I'm going to... Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. All right. So first, I'm going to... What's the word? I'm going to rebuke on the Goblin Minion A with Kronk. So that'll be D6. Does not miss, so...
Does not miss, so he's going down regardless.
Yeah. So let's see. We got a 4.
4?
Yep.
What sounds like a church bell rings out. It's not quite the same as the one you heard during the previous fight with the goblins. This one sounds like the church on the other side of the town is ringing its bell in the dead of night. But the result is the same. The goblin just crumples over dead.
Yeah, basically as I'm just sort of swinging the fucking mace down, basically, as the rebuke happens. Almost like you're hitting a church bell.
Yes.
But I'm also going to be... Then I'm going to... Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, cool. I'm going to move over here. I'm going to rush through with my left hand. I'm going to try and grab the Goblin Minion E's neck and use... What's the spell? Withering Touch, which will be at disadvantage.
Yep, hopefully you can hit him.
Yeah, so hang on, just D12. 2D12. Hit Go and Pray. 5.
Nice. You reach out, grab him by the arm, and silently call upon the power of the Almighty, and before your eyes his skin wrinkles and putrefies and then begins to peel off his face, revealing the skull underneath. His hair turns grey and drops down into a pile at his feet, and then the rest of his skin withers away, leaving for a scant second a skeleton goblin standing there brandishing a sword, until the bones lose all composure and crumble to dust.
Return to the earth.
The town square is silent once more. The cobblestones now paved with blood, entrails, and a couple goblin heads lying around. You realise at this point that the crowd in the Valley's Rest Inn have gathered in the doorway. They've all been crowded together, watching silently with bated breath the fight unfold. And now that finally the danger appears to have passed, the spell on them breaks. Fred and his until recently arm wrestling assailant are the first to speak. They point fingers at the fairy tree. They's got away with Moon Blossom, they has! Get after him!
Yeah, can't go find Fairy. They can't get away with this.
And he just starts toddling off already, not knowing where they're going. He's just going on pure instinct.
Just going on pure instinct. He
I'll
doesn't
go
make
find
it,
the rat and just steer the child toward me.
Neither of you make it that far before you hear the sound of more rushing footsteps. You see Captain Shortbow and the 3 militia men stumble into the town square. The 3 militia men are panting, or out of breath, shivering in the cold of the evening. Captain Shortbow's the only one who looks like he knows what he's doing, has his namesake raised, arrow knocked. He meets your eyes. Well, you've dealt with them here. We tried to catch the rat rider. He was leaving north out the village. Reckon he's headed up towards the Elderwild. He is. Probably more goblins camped there. And what they're planning to do with Moon Blossom, the Almighty only knows.
Well, because I detected little fairy, the plans went on, we'll go get them. I can't allow it to happen.
Load the crunk.
The gruff dwarf seems to size you up, and then he nods, and he says, for the first earnest thing you've heard him say since you met him earlier in the day, if you do that, lad, if you bring Moon Blossom back, the village and myself will be in your debt. But, he looks up at the darkened night sky, it's a dead of night, and with everything that's been going on, might be all sorts of nasties prowling outside of town. He looks towards you, Kale. You look like you know your way around the wilderness like the back of your hand. You're skilled in tracking, I take it?
There's a bear shit in the woods.
That they do. Well, gobbling on a big rat like that, and a big stench, ain't really going to be smart enough to cover his tracks. So if you want, you can rest up for now, tend to your wounds. I'll petition the mayor, and if you like, you can leave in the morning, first thing at dawn's light, and we'll give you some supplies to see you off. Mayor Tills has got a couple of healing potions stashed away for an occasion just such as this, and I think they won't do you any harm to take with you. He pauses for a moment. Or, if you like, could leave now. But I'll take no responsibility for what happens, mind.
I mean, we could leave now, hot on the trail, we wait till morning. We might lose it.
Just give me a healing potion and let me go.
But also, you've taken a couple of hits.
Just give me a healing potion and let me go. I'll be fine. Just follow me and point Kronk in the right direction.
That's the thing. Kronk's also taken a couple of hits, haven't you?
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, Kronk's got more HP than sense, though.
Yeah, he does. It's true. He's got a sense of 1. So...
No, -1.
Yeah, -1.
HP is that what's after 1 again?
Well,
Evan,
I reckon that maybe we could go. We could back up now.
You would
but
have
also
a chance
we're
to
going
camp on the road, you think, but it wouldn't quite be as safe as staying in town.
That is also true.
Also,
do we want safe or do we want fun?
Exactly. But if we camp on the road and we encounter more goblins, then we keep one alive. to find out where they're taking, what the base is.
I just sort of look over at Phelan and go like,
And what does our resident scoundrel think?
The further it gets away, the harder it is to find.
Well, in that case, Kale, go ahead and
That's
make
true.
an influence check for me, Kale or Cass, because you both directly appealed to him. So either one of you, whichever one has the highest, I would say.
I've got a +4. What about you?
I've got a +2, but
Well,
I just rolled an 18.
Oh.
Well, that'll do it. You
Yep.
definitely look the part.
Oh, yeah, better than me.
You look like a tracker, and if there's anyone who can find these goblins and survive in the wilderness in the dark, you look the part. The Captain Shortbow just takes a moment of silence to think about it. Then he nods. He steps forwards, he says, "All right. Well, in the interest of time, then, you can get going. Only we don't have time to crack open Mayor Tills's stash, so, here." He reaches into his own adventuring pack, and he pulls out 3 glass bottles, each of them filled with a bright red liquid. It's not quite as many as what we had stashed away, but here's 3 potions, and hopefully those will keep you alive.
I just take one instantly as I'm leaving and walk away and start following the tracks.
Yep, so if you drink that means you recover 2d4 plus 2 health.
Cool, I'm gonna drink that and do that.
I will grab the other 2 and just give one to Kronk and the other one to Phelan. Just like,
Here, you might need these. Especially you, big guy.
Oh,
Thank
that gets me
you.
back up to full at least.
Now, do you think I should take it now or save it and just stay at 15?
I
There
reckon
is a-
maybe just. Oh, sorry.
Well, I was going to say, there is a chance that you may be able to find herbal medicines while you're out in the field, if you look for them.
All right. Yeah, I'll
So
just
it's up to you.
pocket it.
Pocket it, save it for when you need it, and then, yep, Cass has got the final one.
I gave the final one to Phelan.
Phelan, yep, so you've got, yep, so everyone's got one except Cass.
Yep. And I'm just going to quickly walk up to the fairy tree before we leave.
Yep.
And I'm just going to put my hand on it, one hand on the gauntlet on like half my face, and I just look up at him and be like,
What in God's name have you got a plan for me?
And if you had touched the tree before, you may have felt some divine force surging through it, but now, as your hand rests on the trunk, it just feels like a normal tree. Whatever magic it possessed before is gone. Perhaps the fairy does act on divine provenance.
Interesting.
Four
and I'll
of you
just sort of
begin...
smile, walk off.
Yep.
Let's go!
I need adventure! And so the 4 of you turn your backs to the village, begin to walk north up the secondary street that leads north out of town past the outlying farms. As you move off the town square, Marla Homebrew, the proprietor of the inn, calls out, "Almighty bring you luck! Bring Moon Blossom back, you hear? There can't be a festival without her!"
We'll get her back.
And you disappear into the darkness. There is no highway that leads north out of Merrivale. Once you move past the outlying farms, you are out into the untouched wilderness, and at this time of night, it is inky black. You can make out the shapes of the Bramblecrag foothills on the horizon, jagged like giant fingers reaching out of the earth. The moon in the sky is full, vibrant, and white. Kale, let's see if you can locate the tracks. I'm sure you can. Make me a nature craft check.
17.
17. It's like Captain Shortboat said. The goblin is not smart. No, excuse me. Hydrate. Sorry about that.
Good idea.
The goblin is either not smart enough or not skilled enough to cover his tracks. And there's big paw prints in the mud as soon as you leave the village, leading to the north. Based on your knowledge of the surrounding geography, you are quite certain, about 90% sure, that he has headed to wherever his compatriots are camped, up in the Elderwild, the primeval forest on the northern edge of the valley, a place you're intimately familiar with, Mr. Man of the Wild. The question is, how would you like to get there? You can follow the trail directly, but that would lead you through the foothills, which you know to be rather more dangerous than simply following the Sanguine River to the north. That would bring you to the Outer Wild faster, you think, but there would be a chance of missing the goblins if they do happen to be camped anywhere else.
What are you taking
party.
us?
I put it to the party.
Well,
I explain to them that we can follow the trail directly and potentially be ambushed through the butthole of beyond. Or we can follow the river up and then cut across and get there quicker, but potentially have to double back if we have to come back and find the goblins in the butthole of beyond.
There's no point getting to the end if we can't carve every single last one of them out. Might as well go up the long way.
As long as we get Fairy Bottom back with fun.
yes, he can't say her name right, so it's now Fairy Bottom.
Very bottom.
Jesus Christ.
The way.
What say you, Phelan?
Oh, honestly, if we just went up the shoreway, we'll probably be able to just reach the end and take a rest before fighting the rat anyway. So he'll end up coming to us, and then we'll kill all the goblins on the way back.
I mean, we could do that.
I mean,
But
yeah, we
also
could
what if we
set
get
up an
ambushed?
ambush for them, but
Or if we get
We
ambushed.
could ambush. Yeah, we could ambush them before they could ambush us again.
I think there might be just a tad more of them than there are us.
An ambush is an ambush.
I mean, you've done well
Let's
so
how
far.
about we
but
go
back.
how
If there's
about we
too many
go
of them.
the long way then, and I scout it out, and
that works.
Yeah,
You do
that
be
way it's best
forewarned
of both worlds. That way we can always lay an ambush for the ambush if we come across one.
yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Right. So here's
Yeah.
a second question for you then. Will you stop to camp for the night, or do you plan to march through the night if you don't find them? If you don't find them before it's, say, midnight, will you camp for the night, or will you march through to the morning assuming you'll find them? Bear in mind that if you do a forced march through the night, you will be tired and there will be penalties.
I say if we don't find them by midnight, we set up camp and then find them in the morning because we're neither use nor ornament tired.
I agree with the camp.
Because
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What time is it? Would we say right now? Like,
let's say it's
on
probably
average?
about 8 p.m. So not
Alright.
too terribly late, but I will say that to walk from Merrivale to the Elderwild usually takes the better part of a day and a half, maybe 2 days, depending on the route taken.
Yeah, so if we went like down like the King's Reach and then up that way, that would probably take like a couple of days.
Yeah, that'd be the
reckon?
longest way. Cutting
Alright.
north through the hills, either following the river or not, would probably shorten it to about a day and a half.
Okay, so not too much shaved off. About 12 hours.
And because they only just got away, let's just say for shits and giggles, they got maybe about
Yeah.
Um,
They probably only got about like an hour on us,
yeah,
if that. But they're also on mounts, so they're going to be faster.
that's also true.
So I'd probably say like they've probably got like an hour on us in distance, because even the rats got to rest.
True.
So it could be at this tree line, could it be up here? Never know.
Alright. So you set off then. Do you travel in darkness, or does somebody light a torch?
I've got 2 torches on me, so I'll just like for a group, would 1 or 2 probably be preferable?
For a group, one would be enough, but if someone's
don't want
going
lights
to...
in my face, I'd rather keep lights at my back.
Yep,
Okay.
so you're going to travel in darkness.
I would also rather travel in the darkness.
Alright, I'll
Is
keep
dark
a
vision
torch
a
out.
thing in this?
No. Oh, well, there are things
Okay.
that can give it to you, but none of you have it from from birth, no.
Yeah. So so if everyone like, if I'd like pull out the torch, you guys just like, nope, absolutely not.
I'll just be traveling in the tree line alongside.
Oh,
you
you're
guys
traveling in
anyway.
tree line? Okay.
Yeah.
All
We'll
right,
go
so
with
I'll-
Wild Man
me-
Sound.
Yeah, I'll just pull it. I'll just follow the road and keep a torch out just to, keep an eye on everyone.
Yep. So that makes you highly visible. The torch, you light the torch and it bathes the area around you in a flickering light that seems to obscure more than it reveals this late at night and out in the middle of nowhere in the foothills. So it makes you highly visible.
I'll stay just far enough away that it doesn't, reveal them.
Yeah, but it does give them enough light from which to see.
Okay, cool.
Alright. And so you set off, and you travel in the dark, silently, hands on the hilts of your weapons, pausing every few minutes so that Kale can confirm that you're still following the tracks so that he can relocate them when they disappear, when they're lost in the overgrowth and the mud. And this continues on for an hour, then 2 hours, then 3. The moon begins to sink lower in the night sky, and you don't know what time it is, but you can tell that it must be nearly midnight. And so far, there's no sign of the goblins, save for their tracks. Kale, you're ranging ahead of everyone else, so I'd like you to go ahead and make a... You can choose either a perception or naturecraft check.
That's a 19 on Naturecraft.
So you're a few feet ahead of everyone else, so you're the first to notice. You crest a hill, and you're walking down the hill, and here, the tracks split in 2. You're not sure how, because as far as you know, there was only one rat rider who escaped from the village. You were only following one set of tracks until this point, but sure enough, at this point, the tracks branch in 2 sets of paw prints. One heading roughly northwest, following in the direction of where the Sanguine River would be flowing, and the other travelling vaguely northeast towards the Elderwild. One of them appears to be slightly older than the others. The one that's travelling to the northwest.
I make us follow the fresher ones.
Stop to make sure that these are indeed the fresher ones. Wait for everyone to catch up. You show them the 2 sets of tracks, and does everyone trust that Kale knows what he's doing?
Yeah.
I trust.
Of course.
I think we should be following the fresher ones.
And so you continue following them, cresting another hill, then a second hill. And Kale, I'd like you to make a perception check again, please. You're at the front of the group, so you'd see it first.
15 even.
15. Follow these fresher tracks for about half an hour, cresting a couple hills, and then suddenly the tracks stop. And where they stop, the earth is disturbed, the grass is flattened, trodden. You recognize it immediately as an obvious trap.
Okay. I stop the party and explain to them that it's a trap.
And once you point it out, they can easily see it. It looks like the tracks continue beyond it. They stop abruptly at the edge of the track, at the edge of the trap, which seems to be about 5 feet wide. And then the tracks continue just as abruptly on the other side, heading off into the darkness.
Right.
So what's the plan?
Test the perimeter of the trap to try and figure out its size.
Yep. You poke a stick into the edge. And the trap is it is big enough that if you had continued to walk without noticing it, at least 2 or 3 of you could have fallen in. It's quite large, and that makes you think that it was not hastily prepared just now. It would have taken time to prepare this trap.
I'm just gonna keep the torch up so everyone can keep a good eye on the trap.
If the trap is new, that means they're closer than we think. Because they would have taken a lot more time to do that.
No, I'm saying the trap, based on its size...
The trap's too big to be new.
Yeah, it would have been here for quite some time. So, either the tracks are indeed as fresh as you thought, and the rat rider has simply gotten over the trap and continued going, or the tracks were intended to lead you into the trap, and may lead you into more.
Well, we could be on the right track. Maybe it's defenses for a cave or something. I mean, I've never distrusted a tracker that I've met. Do I have to start now?
I think we should do what he says. He seems to know what he's doing, and he will lead us the right way to Ferry Bottom.
Let's hope.
I lead us safely around the trap and continue following the tracks, but I'm more alert and more looking out for traps than I was before.
Good news is that after you get around the trap, you don't encounter any more. The hills that proceed onwards appear to be undisturbed, but the further you go, the more you wonder if you've made the right choice. You know that you're heading vaguely in the direction of the Elder Wild, but you see no sign of the goblins. The tracks just continue onwards and onwards, and the moon is now low enough in the sky that it must be past midnight, maybe 1 a.m., maybe even 2 a.m.
I stop us and vote we set up camp.
It's gonna sleep for the night. We need all our strength.
Plus, I don't trust these tracks.
You're not entirely sure how they fooled you. They seemed to be the fresher tracks. But that's not accounting for possible magical interference. You lead the party to a small alcove at the base of a cliff. At the base of one of the nearby foothills, and here, in the shadows of that cliff, you feel confident you should be able to set up camp and remain unnoticed. It only takes 10-15 minutes to lay out your sleeping rolls, and do you get a campfire going, or do you just bed down in the dark and make sure nothing can possibly see you?
I think we should no campfire.
Yeah, I was gonna vote we bed down in the dark.
I was also gonna bed down in the
Yeah,
dark, even if
that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say if you guys set up a campfire, I was not gonna be near it.
So we're on agreement. Good.
Yep.
Make a meager meal from the biscuits and traveller's jerky that you have left over from the caravan trip and bed down in the shadow of the cliff face. Who's going to be up for the first watch?
I'll take first watch.
The night is silent, quiet. The only sounds are the crickets and the sound of the wind rasping through the blades of grass and the distant trees. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me, Kale, and tell me what you get.
9.
9. Your watch passes uneventfully. 3 hours later, you awaken the next person, and who is that going to be?
I guess I'll take next watch.
I'm also
wake up.
happy to do it if needed, and I sent you a DM.
You can do it
Yep.
then. You can do it.
Who am I waking up?
It will be.
Yeah,
It'll be Phelan. Cass volunteered first, so you wake him up.
I'll wake up Cass. Okay.
My turn now.
Yeah, it's been quiet.
Perfect. Could use the fresh air.
Alright.
As you
I'll get
rise
myself
from
set
your bedroll and make your way to the edge of the camp, just on the very edge of the inky black shadow, I'd like you to go ahead and roll a deception check for me, please, as you pass by Phelan.
10.
Phelan is sleeping soundly, her hands clutching the hilt of her longsword, the one she used to run through the goblin earlier.
Short sword.
Short sword. And you can't help but notice that the blade of the sword seems to glow subtly in the moonlight, or you think it does. You pause to stare at it, and then... no, it seems to be a standard short sword, but you can't help but notice, because you haven't had a chance to notice until now, the carvings up and down the blade. Carvings of scorpions, pincers, stingers, insect tails coiling around each other, spiders and millipedes.
I just sort of muttered to myself,
How interesting.
And there
What
is-
are you?
There is something about them as you stare at them that seems to stir in the back of your mind, as if somewhere in the recesses of it, fingers are scrabbling in the darkness, trying in vain to reach out and pull something from the depths of your psyche.
I just try and shake that. I will take out this sort of embroidered blanket. It looks like it hasn't been finished, but it's almost been finished, and I'll just drape it over her as she's sleeping.
And
just to cover the sword as well.
And that seems to break its hold on you. Still not sure if you were just imagining it. You settled down for your watch. I'd like you to go ahead and roll a d20 for me and tell me what you get.
Perfect. 16.
16. And your watch passes uneventfully.
Excellent.
You see the first rays of the sun appear on the horizon, and you watch as everyone sleeps around you, the sunrise, as the sky slowly is painted pink, and then orange, and then bright blue as morning dawns. Phelan, I'd like you to go ahead and make that roll we discussed, please.
Easy
Tell
one.
me how you do.
D20?
D20. Because Phelan's background is that she made a big mistake.
Ooh. 9.
That 9 was a big mistake.
9. Phelan, the sword does not take control of you this night, but your sleep is plagued with disturbing dreams. Dreams of endless sand dunes, the cold, grey sand of a distant desert, of incomprehensible whispering voices of something ancient and eldritch slumbering beneath the earth. And then the next thing you know, you're being shaken awake by one of the others. It is morning. The others are already packing up their bedrolls.
Come on, princess, wake up.
Oh, what time is it?
Time for second breakfast.
I drift off.
Past the first sparrow fart of the morning.
Late enough. We've got to move.
And I just pick up the blanket.
Come on, guys. It's so early. We've only been asleep for, I don't know, like an hour?
Try 7.
What?
You square your shoulders against the early morning chill and continue your pursuit of the goblins. So, you've made camp, and when making camp, that's a bit better than a short rest. That means if you have a hit dice left, you can take it to recover HP, but you don't roll it, you just automatically get the highest amount.
Sick.
So whatever your hit die is, you take that and just add your strength, and that's how much HP you recover.
Well, that's automatic full heal.
Yep.
So you continue on, somehow refreshed by the morning chill. Still
I don't
following
feel
the
refreshed.
same set of tracks as they wind up and down the hills. You don't have to travel far today. You've only been on the road for a scant hour when finally, Kale spots something and your hearts jump into your mouths. Kale, as you crest yet another hill, you peer down and see the unmistakable signs of a struggle ahead of you. A caravan lying broken on the trail, attacked. Arrows pockmarking the ground around it, sticking out of the cart itself. Blades of grass twisted, flattened, tree branches gnarled by goblin feet that have trampled over them. I'm going to bring up in Owlbear the map because there's some stuff that can happen here.
Oh, yay.
There's a faint scent of blood on the air. Faint, but there. Enough to tell you that this happened only recently, perhaps only in the last couple of days.
Smells like goblin shit and blood.
What's this now? As I yawn away, whatever the mess stirred up within me last night.
you
Hopefully
approach it?
nothing.
I'm creeping along this raised ridge, like keeping an eye out for any scouts that might be in the area or anyone that might be lying in ambush anywhere.
Yep. So
And
you go ahead, Cass.
I was just going to say, and I'm going to just check for any survivors or any, remains or anything.
Sure. Phelan and Kronk, you two are bringing up the rear.
I'm tired. I'm just gonna lean against a tree.
Lean against a nearby gnarled dead tree. And Kronk, what are you doing?
Are you okay, Fallon?
Kronk is
Yeah.
clearly being rear of the year.
Yep.
I don't want my friend to feel sad. Are you okay?
I'm not sad. I'm just tired.
Yeah, you rest here and we'll have a look too.
And Crunk will just go up to about here and start looking around the caravan.
Yep. So, Kale, you stick to the outcrop that rises above the trail. From the top, you have a good view of the area below. And from your vantage point, you can see a trail of blood leading away from the toppled cart. Off the trail and to the north, towards the distant tree line of the Elder Wilds.
Okay.
Cass, as you approach the toppled cart, I'd like you to make a perception check for me, please.
Perception check. That will be a 17.
As you creep closer to the toppled cart, you begin to hear a low buzzing, the unmistakable sound of swarming insects, possibly drawn to carrion.
I just,
Fuck. Alright.
and I'll just sort of rotate around to look.
Around. Yep, and
Yeah.
Kronk, as you approach the cart, I'd like you to make a perception check, please.
Ooh. I made these. What's perception is? I have no plus in it. Okay, so this will be a flat 6.
6. Yeah, you've got your attention firmly focused on the wreckage, on the scent of blood. You don't notice anything. You're just sort of following Cass, sticking a few meters behind him at all times. Cass, as you round the front of the toppled cart, the stench of blood grows immediately stronger, something you instantly recognize as the scent of decay. And right there, lying half-wedged, crushed under the toppled cart, is a dead body. A young human man, his limbs bent in unnatural directions, and swarming over him hundreds of insects, beetles, millipedes.
God!
Beetles, millipedes, spiders, grubs.
Ooh, protein.
Stupid bug, you go squish now.
I'm going to try and take one of my torches out and just light it and try and get the bugs away from the corpse.
Sure. Before you do that, Kale, are you doing anything up there on the outcropping?
I'm by the blood and looking ahead at where it's trailing off to.
Yep, so you're examining the blood trail, and it seems to go a few more meters to the north and then disappears, but you see unmistakable the tracks of many goblins pick up where the blood trail ends, descending down the hill and heading north towards the tree line of the Elder Wild. You also see, from where you're standing on the edge of the blood trail, a second broken, gnarled corpse lying in the bushes just below the cliff where you're standing. This one too, swarming with bugs.
Okay.
So, Cass, you light a torch, You step forwards, waving the torch, and it certainly gets the bugs' attention. Roll for initiative, please, everyone.
Worth a shot.
Worth a shot indeed.
11.
2 actions for Cass.
2
actions for Phelan.
21 for me.
Add 3 actions for Kronk.
14
Kale.
for me.
Kale, I'll just automatically give you 3 actions because you're up above on the outcropping, and the insects would not be aware of your presence. You can actually start stealthed if you want.
Ooh.
Cool.
So Cass, the insects that are swarming over the body immediately sense the warmth, and with it, warm bodies, and in unison they scuttle off the rotting corpse towards the new source of food. Cass, you're up first. You got their attention. What would you like to do?
Alright, I am going to... Alright, I'm going to... reach down and, touch the ground around where the insect swarm is. And I'm going to use Withering Touch on the one that's on B.
Yep. The closest one.
Just be like, yep. Be like, away with you. So, 8.
As the insects scuttle across the ground that is now tainted by your withering touch, several of them instantly die, flipping onto their backs. Some of them disintegrate into dust in front of you. The others that are alive continue coming towards you, but they take on a blackish hue, their shells broken, chipped, they're chittering, more erratic, as if they can't seem to control their bodies. And they now count as undead.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And then, so they're still up?
They are still up, though. The swarm is considerably smaller, but it still exists.
So then we are going to then do Rebuke. So 1d6, it's does not miss. 2 times damage against undead or cowardly.
Go ahead, roll your damage.
Alright, so 3, 6
Double
altogether.
6.
Yep.
There's no bell this time. This time it seems as if the earth itself roars. Only you can feel the tremor. But the result is the same. The rest of the insects in the swarm burst into a cloud of dust that scatters instantly on the wind.
And then I'm actually going to... I've got one... Oh, no, that's both my actions, right? Yeah.
That's both your actions. Yep.
All
right.
So end my turn now.
Kronk, you're up. What would you like to do?
Kronk sees these dead bodies, potential friends, and he goes into a ballistic rage against these insects, going,
I smash you bugs now!
Where's my Fury die? You, and I will hit insect A for...
Go ahead.
9.
9. The axe comes down and you squish some of the bugs, smashing them against the flat of the blade, but there are so many more. The swarm appears slightly smaller. There are hundreds of these bugs, more and more of them pouring out from under the toppled cart, scuttling towards you. Kronk, that's, you still get one more action, don't you?
I do. I will...
Get my bugs, you go squish now!
Alright, so that's 5.
5? That's still fine. Holding your axe aloft, you start to smash furiously at the ground in front of you. Soon the flat of the blade is covered in insect ooze and broken bits of shell. The swarm appears much smaller now, but there is still heaps of bugs squirming, scuttling over each other. Phelan, you're up. You rush up to Kronk's side.
You unmute your microphone.
Yeah, you might be muted, Brit.
Muting is
There we go.
dumb. Unmuting is dumber. What is going on? Who woke up the bloody bugs? I pull out my daggers.
Just start squashing, trying to
Just
defend
start-
yourself as best you can as
start
the carpet,
squashing.
the living carpet, moves towards you.
Yeah, pretty much. Am I rolling that with advantage?
If you're dual
It's dual
wielding,
wield,
yes.
yeah.
Yep,
2.
they're both 2.
Yeah.
Some of the insects scuttle towards you, crush them underfoot, and then use your dagger to pick off the ones that begin to crawl up your leg, flinging them off. When you're done, the swarm appears a bit smaller, but they're still coming.
So it's 5 damage total.
5 damage total. Alright, and Kale, you're up. Hiding up on the outcrop, the insects don't register your presence. You see a living carpet scuttling towards the toppled cart, eager to overwhelm your friends.
Poof. I aim at... Wait. So Swarm A is engaged
with Kronk and Phelan. Yep. And
Kronk and
Swarm
Phelan.
C isn't engaged with anyone.
I take aim at Swarm A and fire.
Yep, go ahead.
So that's 7 damage.
7 damage. The arrow slams into the dirt, and the impact seems to shock the insects. The swarm immediately scatters, and hundreds of insects scuttle off in different directions. The swarm is dispersed.
Okay. I alert Kaz and the rest of the party to Swarm C and the fact that it's there.
Yep, and moving steadily towards them.
Yeah. Could I improvise, like, tie in a bit of jerky or something to an arrow and shooting it at...
You sure can.
At Corpsey Boy here?
Yeah, make me a... Let's say a naturecraft check.
Yeah, okay.
Because you're not going to be too great at finesse, and we know you're good at shooting arrows, so...
Yeah. .22.
22. You grab a piece of jerky, somehow fix it to an arrow, and then loose the arrow. It slams down into the leg of the corpse, and it gets the insect swarm's attention. They stop where they are. They don't move towards it. They just seem to pause there in the undergrowth, as if the hive mind is trying to consider which source of food it would prefer. And now it's the enemy's turn. So Kronk and Phelan, you both attacked in an insect swarm in melee, and it's at this moment that you feel scuttling on your skin. You look down and see a bug, 2 bugs, 3 bugs, 4 crawling up your leg, up your arm, and fixing themselves to your body, and you each take 2 points of damage that you cannot defend against.
Wait, who takes damage?
You do,
bugs.
and Phelan. You do, and Phelan does.
Oh, 2 points of damage.
Yes, as some bit of the swarm, some remnant of the swarm appears to be attached to your body from when you attacked it.
Goddamn super bugs, get out of here now!
You can now both make deck saves, or you can now both make deck saves if you'd like to strip them off you so they don't do any more damage.
Alright.
Yes, please.
21.
21. And how do you do,
Alright.
Phelan?
I'm having computer trouble. 1 second.
Oh no.
It's okay. 11 plus your dex brings it over 12,
14,
which was the DC. So, Kronk, how do you shake these bugs off you?
Well, since Kronk is still raging, he and stupid as fuck, he's just gnawing them off like a dog.
Biting them off. Biting them. Your teeth chip a beetle in half. Everyone hears the sickening crunch. You rip the others off and spit them onto the ground, and they scuttle away into the undergrowth until there's none left. And Phelan, how do you shake them off you?
I just start running around in a fucking circle.
They're in my hair! They're in my hair!
Pushing them off, pulling them off, running around, screaming until finally mercifully that feeling of tiny legs scuttling across your skin stops. You appear to have peeled them off. Insect Swarm C is going to make a will save to see if it's enticed by that jerky that Kale fired. It is not enticed by the jerky. Instead, Kale, the insect swarm...
We just lost Seraphim.
Yeah,
She'll be back.
Sarah's.
She'll be back.
Yeah, she will be.
Okay.
Instead, Kale, the insect swarm seems to detect closer, fresher food. To your horror, the swarm begins to converge upon you, scuttling up the cliff face towards
me.
you. And that's going to be 8 points of damage, Kale.
Okay.
As they begin to swarm you, biting, stinging, squirming. And then,
Okay.
would you like to defend?
No, I'll just take that.
Just take the 8. Alright, Cass, you're up. You hear Kale scream as the insect swarms towards him.
Okay. Let me have a look. 3 actions. We're going to move to 1. So the other insect swarm's gone, right?
Yep.
Yes.
The ones
Yep.
close to you are gone. It just seems to be the one up near the cliff face that Kale is dealing with.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to do 1 movement. And I think we are going to do the Cassian special again. 1 withering touch. We're going to try
Go
to
ahead.
reach out, grab the ground in the middle of them. So, yoink. 9.
9. Once again, some of them just crumble, some of them flip over and die. The ones that are not attached to Kale shudder, feeling the force of the Almighty, and wither, turning undead.
Alright, you buggers, out of the way.
And I then do rebuke.
Once again, the earth tremors. How much damage we deal?
Oh,
with?
6.
Doubled?
12.
The earth tremors. A piece of the cliff face cracks. The crack stemming from the top, spiraling down to the base. Dust and rock falls away, and the insect swarm appears to be sucked into the crack, pulled into the greedy, hungry earth, and it is gone. Kale, make me a deck save, please.
You're 22.
Hey.
22. You take 2 points of damage as the last few insects sink their fangs and pincers into your skin, but then you shake them off. How do you do so?
I just pick them off one at a time with my hands and individually squash them.
Pick them off, unfazed. You rip one away, it leaves a little bite mark, a trickle of blood runs down your arm, and then you toss them to the wind, 1 bug, 2 bugs, 3 bugs, 4, 5. Take a 6th out of the pelt around your shoulders, a 7th out of your hair, and then they're gone, and you are mercifully free.
I just sort of walk over and be like,
I thought you were supposed to be a man of the forest. Aren't creepy crawlies supposed to like you or something?
Not carrion beetles.
Shame about that.
and I'll go back to the dead bodies just to see if I can figure out like what's going on with them.
Yep, you can make
What
an
happened?
examination check if you like.
I could. Oh god, it's gonna be a flat check. This is not gonna end well. 11.
11. Well, the first body seems to be crushed under the cart. At this point, the insects have eaten so much of it away that you can't really determine a cause of death. But the second body, out in the open, lying on the side of the trail, seems to be in much better condition. I say that, saying that half the face has been eaten away, and the clothes have been reduced to rags, and the skin along the left arm has been chomped away by the bugs, revealing the rotten flesh underneath. But the body is mostly intact. You're expecting
Mostly
to
just
find... Mostly just looking. Yep, you're not touching it, of course.
No, I was mostly just looking for like goblin injury, like the injuries
Yeah.
from like this goblin spears and whatnot. Yeah.
You're expecting to find those injuries. Arrows, spear marks, stab wounds. You find none, Cass. In fact, what you find around this poor man's neck, black bruising, signs of strangulation. There are similar marks along his wrists and ankles as well, as if a rope or a vine pulled him to the ground, held him there, and choked the life out of him.
I just sort of look over to Kale and be like,
Well, looks like the plants are evil around here.
There's something out there waiting for us, and it ain't no man.
Took you
Apparently
that
so.
long to figure it out? You couldn't have figured it from the state of the farms by the town?
Well, I knew about that, but out here?
It's all the same land.
Mate, I lived in a church most of my life. Do you think, does this...
and I just point to my cleric outfit like,
Does this look like nature wear to you?
You call yourself a fucking shepherd?
That's more of a role. Think of it like getting a job. You're a shepherd of the people, not of the land. Always had the term anyway.
And here, the land appears to be revolting against the people.
And it's not
I'm-
very nice either.
no, I'm going to quickly just grab my shovel. I'm going to dig a couple of shallow graves on the side of the road, just put the bodies in.
Yep,
Give
while
a prayer
he's
to the Almighty and bless it.
consecrate them. Yep, you
Yep.
consign them to the afterlife, provided they've been good people. The Almighty will grant them respite. While
Can I
he's
scrounge
doing
the caravan?
that, yeah, you can scrounge the caravan. Go ahead, make an examination check for me.
While he's doing that, I'm treating my injuries.
Yeah, go ahead. You popping a potion, or are you just going to treat them with field dressings?
Popping the potion I have.
16.
Yep, 2d4 plus 2, that is for you. So that's a 14 for you, Phelan. With Kronk's help, you search through the wreckage of the caravan. The goblins, or whoever attacked these men, appear to have purloined mostly everything. All that's left are a few empty barrels, some broken bits of wood and debris, some tattered cloths, and... No, wait, there's something that was missed, it seems. There's a secret compartment built into the floor of the cart. Whoever attacked the caravan seemingly missed it. It's quite well hidden, and with the angle at which the cart has been toppled over, the groove in the floor is almost invisible.
Mine? I start opening it.
Mine, 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 mine.
Mine.
Cart is toppled over, and we're at the right way up. It'd be a simple matter of just sliding something into the groove and lifting it up. But since the cart is on the side, the angle is a bit awkward. Would you like Kronk to just rip it open?
Sounds like someone needs the help of a strong man.
Go ahead, make a might check for me.
Kronk better steal my shit.
I just run off with it.
No, it's mine.
That's a 17.
17. Kronk makes short work of it. He removes the compartment and also several planks of the floor of the cart as well, and the contents just spill out in a jumble at your feet. Phelan, go ahead and roll me a 2d6, please.
Mm.
Did we also want some firewood for tonight? Or
So that was a 4, Dale.
Yep.
4? Yep. So there are several things in the jumble. A pouch containing 40 gold coins, 10 for each of you. 2 glass bottles, one containing the telltale red liquid of a healing potion, the other containing a very thick blue liquid, and something that with your level of Arcana skill, Phelan, you instantly identify. I'm going to paste it in the chat for you so you can read along with me if you wish to. It is a diadem of mental fortitude. This silver crown has 6 brilliant gems, each a different colour. As an action, you can touch a gem to reroll a failed intelligence or will save or skill check. If the reroll fails, the gem shatters permanently. When all 6 gems are destroyed, the diadem itself crumbles to dust.
ooh, what do we have here?
Ooh.
Do you hazard a guess at identifying that strange blue potion?
I will take a guess.
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check, please.
9.
9. You uncork it, you swirl it around, and you take a smell, and it has the aroma of cat pee. Unmistakable. Very feline.
Feed it to Kronk, the experimental guinea pig.
Because it has words if you have coin.
She'd be pissing in fucking Josh.
Why don't I be interested in cat piss? Oh, never mind.
Why do I have a sudden urge to piss everywhere?
You can attempt to identify it again next session, or you can hand it to someone else who can have a go.
I think the
Or
one
someone
person
can take
I would
a
attempt
taste.
to give it to is either Kronk to taste it,
You know what? That
or
that
to
will,
Sebi to test it.
you know that would be fun. Just give it to Kronk.
Okay, I give it to Kronk. Hey, give this a taste for me. Does it taste as much as it
It's the
smells like cat
protagonist
piss?
from the Hunger Games parody, Cat Piss Never Clean.
Ooh, this looks pretty in blue, and I take a big swig of it.
You don't just take a big swig, Kronk. You uncork it and drink the whole thing.
Not all of it, you
chug,
dumbass!
chug.
Actually, Kronk, roll me an intelligence check, please, to see if you are intelligent enough to only take a little bit.
Okay.
Wait, Kronk, in your
Negative
intelligence
5.
box
Minus
on
1.
your character. Yeah, okay.
So that's an 8.
That's an 8. Yeah, As soon as Phelan hands it to him, he just uncorks and swallows the entire contents of the bottle.
God damn it.
The bad news is that the potion is gone. The good news is that it doesn't appear to be toxic. You barely even register the taste too, Kronk, because as soon as you swallow it, you suddenly feel invigorated. You feel like you can move faster. You begin to spring. You feel like you have a spring in your step. This is a potion of Cat's Grace, and you have +1 to your dex until the next time you make camp or have a safe rest.
With cat like rat.
Are you okay?
If you ever see it again, you can identify it just by looking at it. Kronk takes a loud belch and then begins to scream and run down the trail like a kid who's on red cordial.
I just look I look at Kronk and I see Phelan like that. I'm like, what did you give him?
You ever heard
If he was a cat, I'd say he's got poo euphoria.
You ever heard of poo? You ever heard of Red Bull? I just heard of Red Bull. I really like Red Bull.
Gives me wings! And that's all there seems to be inside this toppled cart. The bodies have been now laid to rest, 2 freshly dug piles of earth that will serve as their eternal resting place. The blood trail leads north, meets the goblin tracks, and is swallowed up by the Elder Wild. You feel that your quarry may be close.
I'm going to chuck the healing potions to Kale.
Yep, the one that you found.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just realised now with the +2 dex into next camp, when I use a Fury die to use that all you got, because that ignores damage with
It
strength
does.
plus dex, so that's
You soak
I
one
ignore
more.
6 damage.
Yep. And if you use any dex weapons, you can do extra damage with them.
Yeah.
So, Kale, do you feel confident to follow this trail, or would you like to, or do you want to try to see if there is another place the goblins could have possibly gone?
Yes. Yeah, we can. I feel confident enough to follow it because we can always double back if it leads to nowhere.
It appears to lead towards the Elder Wilds, which is, of course, a place you're very familiar with. If they are indeed hiding in there, you know you'll be able to find them, and relatively quickly too.
Yeah.
Alright. And so Kale motions silently for you all to follow him. You hike up the outcropping and leave the ruined caravan behind. Soon the scent of blood and decay is replaced by the earthy scent of the forest as the edge of the Elder Wild grows larger and larger until it is looming over you, almost like it itself is alive. And then you step through the trees and into the forest. I'm changing the map.
On the way through, can I talk to Cass about the freaking crown?
If you like. So it's a fair hike up to the forest. You've got a few minutes.
Yes,
What's up?
I don't know if I need this. Does this interest you at all?
I just have a little fumble with it. Do I have have I ever seen anything like this item, or have I ever seen an adventurer pass through, or maybe the priest had one?
You haven't seen one exactly like this, but you do recognize it as a magical item. These are artifacts from the old Empire. They were crafted by the Empire of the Black Sun, and for the most part, the secrets of how to create them have been lost. There are some that are so dangerous that they shouldn't be in human hands, and the church does often stockpile these. You haven't actually seen any in person. This one seems relatively harmless. You've seen ones like it, and from what you know, it seems to have only a beneficial effect.
I just look at it and it's back to Jim's like,
I've only seen these inscriptions. God, that was decades ago.
Decades? How
and I
old
just
are
sort
you?
of put it on my. I just put it on my head quickly and just like,
I think this would do you a better job than I.
Okay, dokie.
And I hand the diadem back to her. I was like,
it will only do you good.
I've just put it on my head.
Slide it over your head, and despite what you know about its reputation, it doesn't make you feel immediately smarter. But as you look around, hiking up to the tree line, you seem to notice the colours of the hills are sharper, more vibrant. You can feel the chill of the wind more than you could before. Your senses are sharpened. Your wit more ready to notice things that you wouldn't have thought of before.
Interesting.
See, you look like a bandit queen already.
And it does look kind of elven too. And so, adorned by a crown of magical power, Phelan leads Cass onwards, catching up with the others just as they disappear beyond the tree line, as if swallowed up by the Alderwild itself. And that's where we'll leave it for this session, as you venture into the primeval forest where the goblins hide. Will the village of Merrivale's festival proceed? Is the fairy Moon Blossom unharmed? And why did the goblins kidnap her in the first place? These are all questions that will be answered next time, when the dice once again decide who lives and who dies.
This was Heroes of the Broken Lands, a Dice of the Dead actual play, with DG as DM, Sabaton Liam, Arch as Apothecary, Sebi the Vamp, and Seraphina as players. Music by Troika Games. Game design by Evan Diaz.